light and heat. Time to take a stand, boys. Time to make a choice. Time to find our courage. Time to be deployed. Make our only stand here. Make our roads complete. All we waited for now, past and future meet. Get your weapons ready. Kiss loved ones goodbye. Now our time is coming, and it is not the time to cry. Hopelessly outnumbered, it's tragic but it's true. Make your last formation, take the final road. Now it's time for endings, now it's time to go. Fight the war. Oh, fight the war. Fight the war. I'm finding the words that I'm talking about on a Tuesday. Oh yeah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Arvanauts, to a Tuesday stream. It is 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It is a pleasure to be here with all of you. It's a pleasure to be back on after missing a couple of streams because of the power of Canadian internet. 0.8 up, 0.8 down. Thanks, Toronto. No, I love me some Canada, but man, I don't know what was going on with that internet. But anyway, it is a pleasure to see everybody here. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yes, I am back from Ad Astra. It was a great time. Really was a great time. I had a wonderful time there. Always loved the people there. Got a chance to talk to a few people, move a couple of books, and chat with my publishers and do all that kind of good stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And I am now back in the midst of finishing up with final grading and a bunch of other things, but we are streaming today, and I am looking forward to it because it's going to be some good times. We have a special event happening today, which is a new one for us, so I'm pretty excited about it. But before I talk about that, you guys know the way to support the stream. !CTT will allow you to tweet out the stream. Please do that. I noticed that Commander Dunsel's here. He was kind enough to tweet this out. Please, if you haven't already done so, please tweet it out, retweet it, let everybody know, because I would love to get people in here, including people that might not always be Twitch viewers, because we have a special thing that may bring them in that might be interested. Come for the coolness, stay for the Crypt of the Sorcerer. We'll see. But it would be great if they came in. Exclamation point ARV2 will get you over to my YouTube channel where you can check out past broadcasts of the stream. Exclamation point Steam group will get you over to the Arvanauts Steam group, where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. I always make announcements over there. And I also now make announcements on something we've been pushing over the last 3-4 weeks or so, which is our Discord channel, which is going really well. Exclamation point Discord will get you over to that. And last but certainly not least, exclamation point Arvtreon. That is ARVTREON for our Patreon. We are currently sitting at $500.04, which is amazing. $600 though is where we were, and I'd love to be able to get back up to that amount because it will allow us to do some other stuff with the channel. It will allow us to make things like this event today possible, for example, and stuff with the art vocalists and a whole bunch of other things. So it would be helpful. Also an art rework for the channel and a whole bunch of other things, plus individual stuff for you too. So that is also available as well. So if you can support the Patreon, that's basically my subsystem. That would be very much appreciated. I am a Twitch affiliate now, which is very exciting. So people are allowed to cheer and do all that kind of cool stuff, which is neat. Yeah, if you're able to support the stream in that way, that would be much appreciated. Now, one quick announcement before we get to today, and that is at the end of this stream, I will be making an official announcement about the title of the third book in the Grey Assassin trilogy. That's the series of mine that started with Grey Shade. Book 2, Renegade, which is going off to my publisher in about a week or two. That is coming out later this year. It'll be coming out in October. The third book in the series, I'm going to be making the announcement of the title of that book towards the end of the stream. I will also be announcing, and please remind me if I forget for some reason, I will also be announcing a special giveaway. Basically, you will be able to get a copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding, which is the first book in the Storm Talon series. You'll be able to get a copy of that if you buy a copy of Grey Shade. So if you get a copy of my book, you get a copy of his book for free, and I will link you guys to the code to do that, because it's only the first 100 people or so, I believe, get this. So I will make that announcement at the end of the stream as well, and that would be really great. Hey, listen, I know Robin Hobb, and if I got something that was Robin Hobb's, I could do worse than to be mistaken for her. Last thing I want to mention is this Friday we've got the Art Vocalists coming up with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, which is going to be awesome. And then Saturday we're going to be having the Dungeons and Dragons Infinity and Beyond crew return. Now that stream is going to be starting later than normal because on Saturday during the day I'm going to actually have a gig with my band. The first time that we've played out for a few years, actually. We've been working on albums and lineup changes and stuff, but my band called The Road is playing in Porch Fest, which is basically takes place in Somerville, Massachusetts, which is right near Boston. So if any of you were in the Boston area between the hours of 12 and 2 p.m. this coming Saturday, I would love to see any or all of you. I will try to put some details up about that in the Discord channel in a day or so. But that's going to be happening Saturday, and so the D&D stream is not going to be happening until later that night. At the end of the month, we have ArvCon coming up, and hopefully by the end of this week, actually hopefully even before that, I will have an official announcement with the full lineup. I can tell you that it will involve the Art Vocalists, I can tell you it will involve Infinity and Beyond, but it will also involve a special event. It will involve music too, but it will also involve a special event, and I cannot wait to tell you about the details of that special event because it's going to be badass. So you definitely want to make that. It's going to be super, super cool. All right. Now, with all that said, this drawing that you guys see in front of you is made by one of our own. And this is an idea that I had a little while ago. I thought that it would be really neat to do this based upon the work that this person has already done. And of course, it's a little bit of a spoiler because you can see this person's name right below. And so I'm going to unmute myself in Skype so that she can hear that I'm coming over to her. And then I'm going to unmute Skype itself. And I would like everybody, please, to say hello in chat to TariToons. Hello, Tari. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I'm super excited. TariToons is here, and she is going to be, check it out, live illustrating this Fighting Fantasy game book. So you've heard about Fighting Fantasy game books. You think you know what the Fighting Fantasy game book experience is like, but you have not lived until you have seen it live illustrated by TariToons. And so TariToons is going to be doing that. This is her brilliant work that you see in front of you, and I cannot wait. I'm super excited. We've made it clear that we want to do exclusively mountainous landscapes. She's asked me if we could just do lots of those landscapes. I'm just kidding. We actually haven't talked about that, but we're going to be broad based. I guess we don't really know what to expect, right, Terry? We're just gonna.
Yeah, I'm just like sort of winging it. I've never done this before, like in a format like this, so I have to see how things work out and like try see what works, what doesn't work, and then like try to get to a good point.
Yep.
At some point.
Yep. It's going to be good. I have faith. So let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this. First of all, let me say hi to everybody. I am wearing, by the way, my 10d6 Wizard Fireball shirt. So not that the Sorcerer could possibly do that much damage to you just by moving his little finger. I mean, I don't see any reason that would happen. But now let us move over to the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook, and you will see, folks, in the right side of the screen, you will see a blank white square, and the blank white square is there because Cujo, what's up, man? The blank white square is where Tari is going to be doing her masterful work. So you guys are going to see her work over there in just a bit, and I'm really excited to kind of see what happens. So let us get some music going, and then we are going to pick our name. For those of you who have never, yo, what up? For those of you who have never done this before, the way this works is you guys will be voting on the major decisions that happen within the course of this game. So you guys will actually be deciding the name of the character. You'll be deciding the decisions that the character makes, whether to attack or not attack, whether to do things or not do things, which is cool. And I want to warn you all, this book that we're playing today, book number 26, Crypt of the Sorcerer, is widely considered to be one of the most difficult books, almost as difficult as House of Hell, which we've actually never beaten on stream. So you guys better buckle up and have your thinking caps on, because this is not easy, and so we'll see how we do here. I do want to say hi to everybody, by the way. Hi to Rogan, to Trouden. I've already said hi to TariToons. Hi to Shimmerclang. Hello to Nirvash, to Jagtris, to Ghost, to Ekag, Div, Cujo, Dunsol. Again, thank you so much, Dunsol, for the retweets. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you to Black Fury, to Beautiful Bear. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Kilobyte, Dragon Spear, and Demiser. A pleasure to have everybody here. And Law, _______, who just appeared. Hello, Law, with multiple underscores. Hi, guys. Are we going to kill Ms. Sunday? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out. So let's get some music going. And I think let's see, what is some good game-related music that I can use? I'm thinking, not Baldur's Gate. Let's see. Maybe I'll go with, let's see. How about... Let's go with this one. 19 underscores found its way into your name. Yeah. You have no idea how that happened, actually. You don't know how that happened, Law?
Allergies with nasal congestion?
Yes, I definitely want to see ads. Not really at all. Okay, let's go with that, actually. Awesome. There we go. Age of Wonders 3 official soundtrack. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do it. Age of Wonders 3 official soundtrack. Let's make it happen. All right. Crypt of the Sorcerer. So we start this way, guys. We are going to begin by choosing a name. Now, the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask for the name. I will take nominations for the first 6 possible names. We will then have a vote, and we will narrow it down until we get down to the name. Please, only 1 nomination per person, so no coming up with multiple possibilities. But what should we name our character? And there we go. What should we name our character? So give me some nominations here. Actually, wait. I forgot it wasn't a poll. Just tell me the names. So just tell me the names. So what would you like to name our character? What should we name them? Give me some nominations here. Caius Erebus. Why am I getting a kappa as a part of that? Also, 2 names, please. Rupat what? Namey McName Face. Is that a serious one, Cujo? Namey McName Face? Skeptical Owl is skeptical. No. We're not going to name anybody multiple possibilities. Veto. I veto that. Oh, not Caius Arapat. Caius Erebus. So who is Caius Erebus? There we go. Caius Erebus. We have Rupat. But give me a last name for that, Shimmerclang. Cross Bowman. That's a good one. Rupat Herpert. All right. I think it's important. You know, Thaddeus Fistybottom, Rupar Herpert. Okay, Rupar Herpert. I think it can be either serious or silly. It cannot, however, be obscene. I'm a little shaky, quite honestly, on Thaddeus Fistybottom. I gotta be honest, Brahms, I love you, but I'm a little shaky about that. Johnson Blues. Okay. I'll take that. It feels like a Steely Dan character, but I'll take it. Aldrich Astartes. There we go. Okay. So we've got Caius Erebus, Rupar Herpert, Namey McNameface, which I'm very, very tempted to change. Crossbowman, Johnson Blues, and Aldrich Astartes. Brahms, I don't know, man. The Thaddeus Fistybottom, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm conflicted about this name. Piggy Bacon Third, The Revenge. No, I got Johnson Blues in there for you, Rogan. So let's see. So there's we go. We got Caius Erebus, Rupar Herpert, Namey McNameface, Crossbowman, Johnson Blues, Aldrich Astartes. All right, here we go. Let's make it happen. Now we get the vote in. So here we go. No more pork thunder cake. Sorry, Trouten. I only had room for the 6. So here we go. So now you guys can vote. So please type in $vote space and then the number of the choice you want. So you can vote for Caius, for Rupar, for Namey, for Cross, for Johnson, or for Aldrich. Any of those names would work. So please type in $vote for whichever one that you want. It is your choice, and I will take we'll take probably the top 2 or 3, and then we'll go with that. I kind of like Crossbowman, I have to admit. Crossbowman has got some cred with me. I like Crossbowman. Aldrich Astartes is also good. I mean, these are all pretty decent, except for Namey McNameface. Oh, man. Cujo, did you watch any of the... I watched the very end because I was up in Canada, so I had to. I watched the end of the overtime with the Ottawa Senators and the Rangers. Did you see any of that game? Wow, really? We have all ties. Well, that's fine, because we're not going to narrow it down until we get a couple of more votes. So here we go. Okay, Caius Erebus forges ahead. Yeah, people were pissed off about the... people were pissed off about that game in New York, man. They were not happy with the Rangers. Change vote 6. Okay, so we got Caius Erebus and Rupar Herpert. I'm going to make this last call here. Going to make the last call for this name. Caius Erebus... Or, actually right now we've got 3, so I might choose among those, although Caius Erebus are clearly the best. Let's see. Caius Erebus. It's a $ Dunsel. There you go. Oh, Kilobyte, by the way, I'm not going to have time to do it right now, and between streams I'm going to be getting ready for D&D with GOG later on today, but would you be able to chat this evening sometime via Discord, because I have some things I have to run by you? Oh, no problem, dude. That's fine. Alright, here we go. So we're going to close this poll. So the top 2 choices are Caius Erebus and Aldrich Astartes. Aldrich Astartes. So... Aldrich Astartes. Aldrich. All right, so here we go. Our top 2 choices, folks. Caius Erebus or Aldrich Astartes. So the winner of this will be the top name. Okay, cool. So the winner of this vote will be the actual vote. You see 2 mouse cursors, Law, because TariToons is currently working on her first illustration for this. And right now, this is the guy who is on the front cover. Caius Erebus or Aldrich Astartes. Also, clearly the person here is the good guy. I think we can all agree that this person is obviously the person who matters. And incidentally, I should mention, by the way, that Terry is not going to be paying attention to chat while we're doing this because she's going to be focusing on drawing. So if you have a question for her, please make sure to either tag her or tag me in chat, and I will pass along the question to her. He's a decent guy under that exterior. Yeah, he's really just misunderstood, actually. This is super cool. Shimmerclang, the way you do that is just by doing the @ sign and then TariToons, which is, as you can see, TariToons. Or you can just tag me @Arv or @Arvin, or, you know, any one of those will work. All right, this is a close vote, guys. Aldrich Astartes has a slight lead over Caius Erebus. Slight lead, so I'm going to last call this. So you guys get your votes in now. Right. Yeah. That's right. Beautiful Bear is correct. Oh, and if you want to change your vote, you can just do $ change vote. So just change vote, all one word, space, and then the number you want to change it to if you want to do that. Or just use ARV. Yes, you can also do that. Actually, that's true. You don't have to do @Arv with Better TTV? Is that the case? Is there any chance to meet Terry live and in person? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked, Shimmerclang. I believe TariToons has, in fact, a live in-person conference that you will be going to. Terry, you care to comment?
I mean, okay, this is kind of funny because I think Shimmerclang is actually one of, if Shimmerclang is a person, I think they are. Then we're actually going to be together at the role-playing convention in Cologne at the end of the month.
Wow.
Yes. It's at the last weekend of May. That would be the 27th and 28th.
Ah, very cool. That's actually going to be right during ArvCon, but fortunately it won't conflict. We'll be here and you'll be there. So.
Well, time zones are a thing.
Time zones are a thing, yeah.
While I am at the convention, like in between the night, actually, I think.
Yeah. So that's cool. So yes, so she will be there. She will be cartooning live. So if you want to meet the person who brings, that's going to be my new nickname, the person who brings fighting fantasy to life. If you want the person who brings fighting fantasy to life to meet this person, then you need to go check out. You need to go talk to Terry in Germany at this place called RPC, which is in Germany.
Yes, and also at the end of the year in December, I will be attending Comic-Con in Dortmund.
Oh, nice. Is that really big now in Dortmund?
Kinda. It's not like officially the same thing as like Comic-Con New York and
Right.
San Diego and whatever. It's its own thing. They just stole the name.
Oh, I see.
Because they can do that apparently.
But it's probably still going to get a lot of people, I would think.
Yeah, the name is definitely drawing a lot of people. I've been there like the year before last year.
Okay.
It was the first time that I did it actually. It wasn't very big or anything, but apparently it's like growing super fast and
Nice.
soon enough, like all the Comic Cons with the actual name in it will be the real deal.
Will be
I
as
think.
huge as it gets. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to be going to a Comic-Con myself. I'm going to be doing a talk, and I'm going to be there all weekend in Pittsburgh the week after this coming one. So, and I'm going to be there with my daughter. So if anyone wants to meet the amazing little Arv, you should come check that out in 2 weeks. Comic-Con in Germany is probably less popular than Oktoberfest. Well, I mean, listen, give it time, Rogan. You know, like it just started. Even
I want to mention,
yeah,
if
go
I
ahead.
may, Oktoberfest is only in the very south of the country, and the country is not that small. Like where I live, nobody
Nobody cares
gives a
about it, really.
about Oktoberfest. It's not a thing here.
Wait, Games Workshop might send me a stern letter. Wait, am I missing something? What is Aldrich Astartes? Am I missing what this actually is, and this is going to be a bad thing, or not? If so, I can just change it. I can change that easily enough. Oh, it's trademarked. Well, look. No more trademark problem. It's not it's not Adeptus Astartes, it's Aldrich Astartus. Totally different. Not even the same. Not even the same thing. Look at that. Not even the same. Completely different. Fixed. Okay, so we got a tie, people. We need somebody to break this tie. Hey, Polar, what's going on, man? We need somebody to break this tie, folks. Break this tie so we can get on to character creation. Let's do it. Yeah, no, I don't want to mess with Games Workshop. I have no wish to tangle with the power of Games Workshop. Unless it would become like a super way to popularize the channel, like maybe I could be considered like the underdog who battled the huge company, and yeah, it's not worth it. All right. Of course Terry can vote. What, she's not allowed? Look, she's not a trained monkey, okay? Just because she's doing things, don't take away her agency. You can't just...
He's saying that women aren't allowed to vote. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
seeing what's happening.
Wow. Wow. That's exactly what it was. I see how it is, Div. Man, I thought the Brazilians were so enlightened, you know, and you find out. Oh, man. I know, right, Law? Well, okay. So, there we go. We're voting on the name. Now, wait, before I approve this, is Caius Erebus anything that I'm going to get sued for? We went at a dark place really quick. Exactly, Rogan. So we're voting on the character name. So is Caius Erebus a problem for anybody? Like, is anyone going to be like, wait, no, and then hammer me with cease and desist? Don't go around telling everyone about that, Terry. Just right, you're supposed to keep misogyny quiet, right? You don't think so? Okay, cool. Maybe the ancient Romans might have a beef, but, you know, I'll deal with that. All right, Caius Erebus is the winner. So our name is Caius. Caius Erebus. All right. There we go. So, now this is a very straight-ahead game book. Wait, what? It's a name in Final Fantasy? What do you mean, apparently? You just came up with it? All right, that's fine. I will change this name to... Caius Erebos. There we go. That's his name. Caius Erebos. Totally different. So, Caius Erebos. It's an online character's name. Whatever, I changed it. It's fine now. So, this is a pretty straight-ahead game book, guys, in that the only real requirements that we have here are skill, stamina, and luck. The old standbys, right? And so the way it works, for those of you who haven't played before, skill is basically your physical prowess, your ability in combat, your general strength, stuff like that. So skill is important here. And so what I need here is, I see that Dragonspear has just popped in and Kilobyte is here as well. Would one of the two of you, either Dragonspear or Kilobyte, or either of the two of you, or Law, I guess, can do this as well. Would either of the two of you or Law be willing to be the official dice roller for today? Who wants to be the dice roller from that group? And the reason we do this, by the way, and leave it to one of the mods or one of the regulars who've been doing it for a while, is because we can, you know, we can expect that happening. Sup. Oh, that's awesome. The evil Crypt. Right. Well, you know, because I just had this image of Law, multiple underscores, rolling all the dice, and I was thinking about the impact. You need to head out 11:15. I would, but I'd be stepping away for lunch. Let's see. 11:15 my time is, what is that? 4:15 here? Oh, no. Wait, see, wait. 12:15, 2:15 my time. We're streaming until 3. We're here until 3. So you could start. So why don't we have you start and then have Kilobyte pick up? Because Kilobyte, you'll be back by 2 o'clock, right, Kilobyte? So does that work okay, Kilobyte? Like Law does until 2, and then you go from 2 to 3? Is that doable? I just want to make sure. Can we do that? God, that is so cool. It's really kind of mesmerizing watching the illustration appear. I love it. I absolutely love it. You can use your metal D6. Outstanding. Kilobyte, does that work, dude? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Great. All right, let's do it. So what we need, first of all, from Law is we need him to roll. He's going to roll a 6-sided die, just one, and he's going to add 6 to it. And then that's the number which is our skill. We want the highest number possible. Let's see. In the meantime, Shimmerclang asks, Terry, do you always draw alone, or is there any kind of network, maybe a group of friends you meet from time to time to relax or improve your art skills?
Well, I don't do art live streams. I used to do them, but like usually I had like one watcher at best, so it was kind of pointless. But like more or less regularly, like more or less, I guess, I go to different art meetups here in Germany, like usually in Essen, for example. There is the Comic Cracker Barrel, like every 6 weeks or so. And other than that, conventions of all kinds, where like after the convention, like all the artists just go hang out at a bar and get drunk together while drawing. The usual. But yeah, I think that's it more or less.
Very, very cool. First of all, Polar, thank you, man. I'm glad. Thank you for buying Gray Shade, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Renegade is coming out in a few months, so. And as I said, you weren't here for this, Polar, but I will be announcing the title for Book 3 during this stream. I will be announcing the title for Book 3 of the Gray Assassin trilogy, because I have come up with a title and it's been approved by the publisher, so I will tell you guys the title later in this stream. Lawkeeper starts out with a bang with a 12 skill. So we have got maximum skill. So we are basically, we are Bruce Lee, I think is a good way to put it. We're basically Bruce Lee, except that we're Roman, apparently, and we're not quite a Final Fantasy character. So I think that's pretty good. So that's the deal. So 12 skill. Now we move on to luck. Now luck is our hit points, basically. It's our general health. Law is going to roll 2 dice. He's going to add 12 to that result. So if you could roll 2 dice. And I must say, if you get a 20, if you roll a 12 again, that either means you're awesomely lucky, or that you're doing some of those weird cheating Warhammer, strats. I'm just saying. I have this image. Law is like a big-time Warhammer player, if you guys don't know. So I just have this image of Law doing that and just, like, accidentally concealing his... Oh, yeah, look, keep rolling double 12s. Yes, add 12. Roll 2 dice, add 12. 21 stamina. Very good roll, very good roll. All right, excellent. Awesome. And then the last that we've got here is luck. And luck is, just like it sounds, how lucky you are. You can use that in combat. Also, it gets used fairly often in the course of these books. So this is just one 6-sided die, and we're adding 6 to that for this one. And then I don't think we have anything else. I don't believe we have anything else that's listed. Just has this, blah, 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 blah. You do not start your adventure with provisions. Wow, yeah, so you pretty much start with zip other than these stats. So 12. You pronounced Morend like that, Morend. Like Maw, M-A-U, and then Rend, Morend. Wow, Law. 12 skill, 12 luck, and 21 stamina. Caius Erebos, the god. Caius Erebos is clearly a Roman emperor brought back to life. He is a god. Yeah, man. Keep that metal die. I dig it. All right, so we're going to save this here as Crypt of the Sorcerer. Crypt. That's not spelled with 2 C's, Greg. Crypt of the Sorcerer. And it is May 9th. 2017. Awesome. All right, so Caius Erebos, 12 skill, 12 luck, and 21 stamina. So here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen in chat, are you guys ready? This background is a little longer than normal. It's not nearly as long as what we had for Creature of Havoc, which is like 15 pages. This is like 3, but it is a little longer than normal. So are you guys ready for the background that will set us off on Crypt of the Sorcerer? Are you ready? Oh, yeah, no problem, Buller. Yeah, I know. You used up all your good rolls, Law. Yeah. Shimmerclang is prepared and hyped. All right. Here we go. I am ready! Alright, let's do it. Chalice is a small town lying on the banks of Silver River at the base of Moonstone Hills. It has grown from being merely a cluster of cabins and huts to its present size, mainly because it became an important trading center for prospectors seeking gold in the hills. It was the first safe haven for merchants who had traveled west from the flatlands on their way to Silverton. In Chalice, they could rest and do business without fear of attack. There are plenty of inns and places of entertainment, and it used to be among the most boisterous towns of Alanzia. But now, as you look out of the window of your upstairs bedroom at the Lion Inn, there is no sign of merriment. For 3 weeks, the sky has been dark and menacing. People recently arriving in Chalice from the east have told of pestilence, plague, disease, and famine moving ever closer to the west. Only yesterday, a story spread like wildfire through the town that someone had discovered where the source of evil lay. An elf flying south in his giant eagle over the southern edge of Moonstone Hills noticed a deep fissure in the ground, out of which rose a putrid-smelling vapor. All around the fissure, the grass was blackened and the trees were stunted and leafless. As he flew over the fissure, the elf said, he saw a scorched and withered hand rise out of the gap, its claw-like index finger pointing up at the eagle. An energy bolt shot up from the top of the finger and burned a hole straight through the poor creature. It crashed to the ground, but the elf escaped with his life and walked to Chalice to tell his tale. You were a friend of the old wizard Nostromo, who lives on the southern edge of Darkwood Forest. By the way, quick note, you've actually met Nostromo before in Scorpion Swamp. You actually went to go talk to Nostromo, so we've seen him. That was all the way back in Book 5. You're a friend of the old wizard Nostromo, who lives on the southern edge of Darkwood Forest, and you decide to visit him and relate the elf's tale. In the now familiar dusky light of day, you spur your horse northwards to Nostromo's tower, and before nightfall you reach the overgrown path that leads to it. You dismount quickly, stride up to the huge oak door, and ring the brass bell that hangs in the stone archway. There is no reply, but suddenly you are tapped on the shoulder and you whirl around, reaching for your sword. "There'll be no need for that," grunts the old man, who stands before you, shaking his finger in admonishment. "What are you doing here anyway, disturbing my peace and quiet? I haven't laid eyes on you for over a year, and now you just turn up unannounced, walk straight through my herb garden, and ring my bell long enough to wake the dead. Well, what do you want?" You smile to yourself while you watch the grumpy old wizard displaying his usual hospitality. "And what's so funny?" he asks. Your expression immediately changes, and Nostromo frowns when he sees the concerned look on your face. "What's up, Linnea?" "I think we should go upstairs so that you can tell me what is troubling you. I presume something is troubling you, as I'm sure you wouldn't visit me for any other reason, and I can guess that it has something to do with this infernal dark sky." When you have finished telling Nostromo the elf's tale, he remains sitting silently in his old oak chair, his face as somber as a grave. At last he speaks, sighing with every word. "Then my worst fears are realized. The necromancer has risen. Those fools! Their greed might now bring an end to life in Alanzia, unless..." Completely puzzled by Nostromo's mutterings, you ask him to explain. As if describing a horrible nightmare, Nostromo recounts the legend of the evil necromancer Razak, who threatened Alanzia 100 years ago. See you, Link Joker. Although he first learned his skills as an apprentice to a lawful wizard, Razak was attracted early on in life by the dark power of evil. He realized that he could become a great sorcerer who would one day be able to command everyone to obey him. He had no desire or intention to use his magic to help Alanzia. He wanted the kingdom to be brought to its knees. He traveled to a remote part of eastern Alanzia, and there he practiced his arcane arts. He quickly progressed through the levels of dark magic from lowly apprentice to wizard and then sorcerer, so that at last his powers were so great that he became a necromancer, having spent the last 40 years in solitude. Razak then sent messages to all the nobles of Alanzia, demanding that they acknowledge him as their ruler. At first they ignored him, for none had heard of him. Razak took umbrage, and in retaliation brought plague and pestilence to the nobles' provinces, giving them until the next full moon to recognize his leadership. Many warriors offered to try to slay Razak, and many died in the attempt. Many brave Bothans died. No, I'm just kidding. But one brave man by the name of Kull succeeded and saved Alanzia. He owned a sword which he had found in the Moonstone Hills, gripped by a skeletal hand rising from a mist-covered lake across which he was sailing a raft. Kull was mesmerized by the sword's magnificent beauty. He immediately wanted it for his own and reached out for it. The skeleton made no attempt to prevent him, I know, right, Dunsel? And simply slipped down into the muddy depths of the lake as soon as it released the sword. Kull was so overwhelmed with the sword that nothing else mattered to him. He steered his raft to the shore and began testing his new weapon. He discovered that nothing could dull its edge, and that he could cut through plate mail armor with ease. He did not realize that the sword had once belonged to Razak, and was the only weapon in the whole world with the power to slay him. Razak, in order to become a necromancer, had had to relinquish all weapons, but there was no power strong enough to destroy his cursed sword. To try to rid himself of the sword, Razak threw it into the lake, but it rose to the surface in the grip of the skeleton. For years, the skeleton clutched the sword until Kull caught sight of it and took it for himself. And so a twist of fate took the invincible Kull to Razak, and Razak was slain at the hand of Kull by the sword that had once been his own. But the moment Razak was slain, Kull's flesh fell from his bones and lay in a pile of dust around his skeletal feet. Razak's magic had condemned him to an eternal nightmare as a skeleton, unable to release the sword. He seized a hooded robe and fled into Moonstone Hills, and it is said that to this day he drifts constantly across the same lake on his raft, clutching the sword, unable to rest until someone takes it from him. Razak's body was placed in a stone sarcophagus and entombed in the fissure in the southern hills. The crypt was sealed by a lawful sorcerer who decreed that it must remain unopened for 110 years, otherwise the necromancer would rise with a host of undead to destroy all life. Thank you for the host, Rob. I appreciate it, sir. Welcome. I can only assume, concludes Nostromo with a deep sigh, that treasure hunters found the necromancer's crypt and opened it unknowingly. Razak must be destroyed before it's too late. Oh, but it's going to be so difficult. We'll need to find Razak's sword and a number of talismans and amulets that will protect you from the necromancer's magic. I trust you will volunteer for this mighty task? Slowly you nod your head, although your brain is still spinning with Nostromo's tale of Razak and poor Kull. Thank you, Terry. Good, continues Nostromo. Now, don't worry about the sword. I won't let you become a skeleton. Just bring it back here, and in the meantime I'll be calling on a few people who can help us. There is no time to waste. You must find the lake in Moonstone Hills. Rest well tonight and leave at first light, what little of it there is. Okay, so our job is to defeat Razak with his sword. And we have to find the lake in the Moonstone Hills. There we go. You are woken from a nightmare in which undead creatures attack you with swords by Nostromo tapping you on the shoulder. Time to get up. It's almost dawn, he says in a sleepy voice. Within 20 minutes you are outside and mounted on your horse. Nostromo smiles, ever optimistic in the face of danger, and hands you a small glass phial. Healing potion, he explains. Enough for 5 tots. So, which I assume is a nice British way of saying drinks. So, we've got a healing potion. I'm going to put this under provisions. So you have a healing potion which restores 4 stamina points per drink. And you make a note each time you drink one of them. So that is our healing potion that we've got right now. The old wizard then waves to you as you gallop off, heading east towards Moonstone Hills in search of the lost lake. I forgot about that. Find lost lake. There we go. By midday, the hills rise up threateningly from the horizon, flanking you from north to south, and you wonder how you will ever find the lake. By nightfall, you find yourself at the foot of the hills where Silver River flows out onto the windward plain towards Chalice. You decide to camp by the river and make a fire to keep you warm, and also to ward off any hunters of the night. The night passes without incident, and in the morning you wake feeling hungry. After eating bread and cheese from your backpack, you climb onto your horse and decide which way to head. First choice of the day, guys. Do you wish, well, second because of the name. Do you wish to wade across the river and ride east into the hills? Or would you rather follow the river north up into the hills? So, wade across the river and ride east into the hills, or follow the river north up into the hills. So... bread and cheese. Delicious. All right, guys, what should we do? Wade across the river and ride east into the hills, or follow the river north up into the hills? What's it going to be? Cheese. Is this Caius that we're constructing, I assume?
Yes.
Awesome. I love him already. Look at him. Guy's badass. Whose only weakness is cheese.
Well, is it a weakness really though?
No, I mean that's a strength, I'd say. Okay, so we got 5 people. So you guys are pretty strongly in favor of following the river north up into the hills. I'm going to throw a last call on there. I love watching sometimes chat's paranoia on this stuff, because clearly they're just kind of like, I don't want to cross the river here. They're just like, stay out of the water. Oh man, exactly. I don't like having wet feet. Better afford now than a Chrysler later. Oh yeah, Chrysler later. I like it. I like it. Well done. I see what you did there, Elias, and I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. Thank you also for the retweet, by the way, Elias. I appreciate it, sir. Okay. Which is the option that gets us killed quicker? I don't know. Vote for the opposite of what law votes for. Yeah, I don't know, Trouden. These books now are all at this point. They've been new to me for a while. The last one I played was back at like 19 or 20. So these are all as new to me as they are to you. All I know is that this book is infamous for being extraordinarily difficult. So, you know, we'll do the best we can. You know, we'll make an effort. But waterfalls are difficult to cross. Yes. That is, so I have heard. Okay, so we are following the river north up into the hills. Let's do it. You climb steadily up into the hills following the winding river. After an hour or so, the ground becomes very marshy and your horse has to struggle to keep moving forward. It appears that this part of the river often breaks its banks and floods the valley. Do you wish to keep heading north, or would you rather cross the river and ride east into the hills? So, keep heading north, or cross the river and ride east. Okay, so now we cross. Yeah, death to come noted. Yeah. That's the rumor I heard. I heard some people, because there are message boards dedicated to this, who were particularly upset with Ian Livingstone when he wrote this. That was the word on the street, so. I know, right? Beautiful Bear? Like, the same exact choice. I know it. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Thank you guys so much for all the retweets today and stuff. Keep heading north. I like it. I like it. You guys are like, screw you, game. Don't try to convince us that we're wrong. I am the man who will listen to myself. That's how this goes. Yeah, but House of Hell is crazy though. Like that's literally I feel like House of Hell almost cheats, you know? Me against the world, exactly. All right. Let's close that poll, and let's keep heading on north, because I think people are pretty definitive about this. They're like, screw you. book. Okay. Now, here is what you see. Or here's what you hear. I will put up, just briefly, I'm going to put up the interior link, and then we'll come back to Terry's drawing, but I want to come up to that link. Which reminds me, by the way, I see that Dragon Spear is here. Dragon, if you can hear this, I don't know if this is possible for you, but I wondered if you might be able to do what you've done with other books, which is to upload the illustrations just for them, using your, I don't know, Fighting Fantasy Foo or whatever it is. But for now, I'm just going to capture this image. Okay. You are the one in the wrong, Fighting Fantasy. Exactly. It is. This is, and again, for those of you who don't know, this is TariToons, who is, we are lucky enough to have illustrating this today, which is super, super awesome, and I already love everything about this. And you are getting to see her work, so definitely keep that, be aware of that, be aware that she also does do commissions. I want that to be clear. And so you should, if you have not already done so, you should definitely check out her work. We will try to put links as well to that work. Also, I think that's it. Yeah. Damn it. Sorry, I messed that up. I didn't mean to show. I forgot that that shows on screen. I forgot to use studio mode. My bad. It's alright though. It's okay. Nirvash, as one as commissioner, you can definitely say it's worth it. Yes. Agree. Elias wants to know if you're going to be posting this to Twitter or elsewhere, Terry. I suspect you will be, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I will be posting all of the pictures everywhere.
All the places in all spots.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Can you post a link to an image you commissioned Terry to draw? Of course, Trouden. Yeah, of course you can. So this is what you guys see in front of you. This particular one is not Terry's drawings. Ahead you see movement in the tall, wet grass and become aware of a loud buzzing noise. 6 large, mottled black harpoon flies suddenly rise into the air, each the size of a pigeon. Jesus God. Although their heads appear to have an elongated proboscis, it is actually a poisoned needle-like spike which harpoon flies can shoot at a target. They can only grow 1 needle at a time, and it takes a week for the needle to grow back after it's been fired. The poison paralyzes the harpoon fly's victims, and female harpoon flies then lay their eggs under the skin so that the maggots will have plenty of meat to feed on when they hatch. Everyone feeling good about that? Roll 1 die to determine how many needles hit you. Okay, Law. So let's see how many harpoons hit you. How many needles hit you? Roll 1 die, please. Yep. The strong poison acts quickly, and you find yourself unable to move a limb. You fall out of the saddle headfirst into the marsh and hear the hovering harpoon flies land on top of you to lay their eggs. You are stricken with terror at the prospect that it will be several days before you die a revolting death. Excuse me just 1 second. Just have to find something here.
I grew up in West Africa. My father was killed by the rebels. When my mother died, they brought me to the orphanage.
How sweet the sound
Caius Erebus,
that saved
you did the best that you could,
like me.
but the best that you could wasn't much more than 2 entries. You saw a bunch of flies, but they saw you first. And now you're lying on the ground, prepared to become a corpse and a breeding ground for maggots.
But now I see 'twas grace
And in this life,
that taught
we will try to carry on.
my heart
Your magnificent Roman features were not enough to save you. That body which all admired has now been removed in favor of a maggot-ridden corpse. We wish you Godspeed, Caius Erebos. May your death be more productive than your life was. We wish you good luck. Thank you. And adieu. Okay, well, that was interesting. Well, thanks for coming. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I'm joking. Deaths equals 1. Welp. Oh man. I told you guys. I told you. Maggots are apparently on cheek. Yeah, that escalated quickly. I know. Oh man. I didn't even have time to pull up a save point. Okay. So, fortunately we just got into here. I know, we're off to a roaring start, right? Okay. Let's go back to pleasanter times when we had artwork. Dead. Poor Terry couldn't even get the illustration of the hero Don. Good God, chat. Couldn't even freaking get the illustration finished before you killed him. All right. Here we go. Back to 1. Let's try this again. Yeah, what a buzzkill. That was a stinger. There you go, Law. All right, here we go. You are woken from a nightmare in which you are poisoned by flies. Oh my God, it's the harpoon flies. No. You are woken from a nightmare in which undead creatures attack you with swords by Ystromo tapping you on the shoulder. Time to get up. It's almost dawn, he says in a sleepy voice. Welcome to death, 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 and maggots, exactly. Within 20 minutes, you are outside and mounted on your horse. Ystromo smiles, ever optimistic in the face of danger, albeit not harpoon flies, and hands you a small glass phial. Healing potion, he explains. Enough for 5 tots. But not good against harpoon flies. The old wizard then waves to you as you gallop off, heading east towards Moonstone Hills in search of the lost lake. By midday, the hills rise up threateningly from the horizon, flanking you from north to south, and you wonder how you will ever find the lake. By nightfall, you find yourself at the foot of the hills where Silver River flows out onto the windward plain towards Chalice. You decide to camp by the river and make a fire to keep you warm, and also to ward off any hunters of the night. The night passes without incident, and in the morning you wake feeling hungry. After eating bread and cheese from your backpack, you climb onto your horse and decide which way to head. Will you wade across the river and ride east into the hills, or follow the river north up into the hills? Now, I do want to say that last time you went north and then went north again. It's possible, A, that you could go differently now, or you could go differently the second choice, or you could do the same exact thing, but just hope that Law rolls like a 1 instead of rolling a 5. But, I mean, that's totally up to you as to what you guys actually want to do. But there's no guarantee either way, I guess, is my point. So, let's clear this vote. This is music for the return of Caius. And let's do it. The 2007 RuneScape OST would be a better fit, yeah. This is actually the Age of Wonders 3 soundtrack. I have never played Age of Wonders. I probably should do that at some point, although I'm not a big real-time strategy guy. I like turn-based strategy quite a bit, but I've also never played Age of Mythology, which I understand is, you know.
Oh, that's a shame. good game.
Yeah, is it? I've heard good things about Age of Mythology. Okay, so what's it going to be, guys? Wade across the river, ride east, or follow the river north? You started playing Planescape Torment, you're loving it? Well, yeah. Planescape Torment's a brilliant game, that's why, Brahms. Yes, turn-based strategy game reference, I know. Well, and I did love it, actually. As you know, Dunsel, I was a big fan. Oh, Dunsel, by the way. I wanted to let you know, he said archly, that since you are, of course, such a big fan of Shadowrun, you may know something about the game Crossfire, which is made by Catalyst Games and which is a deck-building game set in the Shadowrun universe. I may have a special event coming soon regarding the new game coming out from Catalyst called Dragonfire, which is basically like that, except it's set in D&D in the Forgotten Realms world, with adventures and all that business, deck building, but with adventures and stuff, as opposed to in the Shadowrun world. It's being released by Catalyst. I happen to have a connection with Catalyst, and I may be doing an event relating to that subject at some point later this summer. So I wanted to tell you that because I figured you would appreciate the connections there. Planescape was the best AD&D campaign setting. Planescape was fun. Yep. And the connection is John Helfers, actually, my very good friend and editor of the first novel that I ever published, and also the guy who is with the Infinity and Beyond crew, of course. And he works at Catalyst. He's he's the head of their novel line. So yes. Yeah. It may or may not be. Well, actually, that's funny you mentioned that, because I just thought about where you are, Dunsel. It might be local. I don't know. I will, in fact, think about that. It might be local, or it might be at one of the big cons, though. It might also be Origins or Gen Con. But I'd like to do an event on this channel relating to it, because I'm telling you right now, I'm all over it. Because it's, I mean, honestly, this is what I want. This is what I want. What I want for Christmas. I want Lord of the Rings card game, which is amazing, but I want that on tablet, just like they did with the Pathfinder Adventure card game, because I don't want to have to keep buying decks every month, and I don't want 6 quadrillion cards that I have to shuffle. Second thing I want is I want deck building, I want adventure games. Really good adventure games, a la, you know, again, adventure card game, things like that. So if this fits that bill, I'd be all about it. You give him hell about Shadowrun editing issues. Yes. Okay, so wade across the river and ride east. I think people are fairly clear about this. And let's do it. Except for Elias, who, you know, is like, let's do it. Okay, wade across the river. You were immediately killed by harpoon flies. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So let's head. You urge your horse into the river and are soon on the far bank. After a while, you reach the top of the first hill and look east towards what seems a never-ending range of hills. As you start your descent, you see a small wooden hut partly hidden by the trees. The roof has caved in and there are no visible signs of life. Do you wish to enter the hut or ride by? Hey, what's up, Cairo? Yeah, exactly, Lies. Yeah, I know. I want them to release that, too. I played pretty much the whole thing. I played a ton of adventure card game, actually. I really like that game on tablet. But I'd like to see it be on there, and I'd like to see it be cross-platform. Oh! And I can't believe I forgot about this, by the way. Because I haven't been on in, like, almost feels like a week. I forgot about this, guys. If you haven't already done so, sign up for this. Go and sign up for this right now. This is our Talisman Tournament, which we're going to be holding next month. We have 7 people signed up for it right now, and we need 16. Well, you don't need, but it's going to be capped at 16. So if you wish to get in on Talisman, and by the way, to play this, you need to have a copy of just the vanilla game. That's all you need is just the vanilla game. We will have prizes. We'll have the whole 9 yards. This is part of the Patreon that we got when we got this Talisman Tournament. So we've got 7 people signed up. if you want to sign up, do it now because it's going to be happening in June and we can take 16 people. And there's going to be, basically, if we get 16, we're going to have a series of quarterfinal rounds and then either a semifinal round or a final round, depending on how these things work. So sign up now. If you are interested, jump on in and get on board. You'll notice that there are dates in terms of what days you can do. And then times where you can write that stuff in. So please do that because I will do the best I can to accommodate everyone. I might not be able to, but the more flexible you can be, the better, and the more likely, obviously, that you'll be able to play. So please definitely do that. That is so terrifying, Terry. This fly.
Thank you. I'm trying.
I'm glad this is happening during the day. Hey, listen, it's your nighttime. It's your nightmare, so, you know. I'll have time to forget this moment.
Hey, it's just 7 p.m. right now.
Okay, so you're fine, right? Right, that's right. And Elias has 2 keys to give away. So, yeah, not right at this moment, so that's fine. But yes, so if you want to enter and you don't have the game, you may be able to win a copy of the game from Elias. So that's possible as well. I should say, by the way, if you haven't played Talisman on any of these platforms, I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. The people who made that game, who made Talisman, Nomad, is also the group that's making the new Fighting Fantasy game, which is like a card game that they're developing with Ian Livingstone, and they're developing that as well. The great thing about Talisman is that it is cross-platform at the same time. So you can play on your tablet with someone who's playing on PC, which I think is really cool, and should be done by way more devs. Okay, so we've got Enter the Hut. Last call here on Entering the Hut. I was going to ask about that, Dunsel, actually, because I was going to be bringing it to Pittsburgh. I was going to be bringing it not this week, but the week after. So thank you for telling me. That means I'm going to pull it out then. I should say to everybody that, again, if I'm going to be announcing a Gray Shade giveaway a little bit later on. If you buy a copy of Gray Shade, this special deal allows you to get a copy of Ed Greenwood's first book in the Storm Talons line called Words of Unbinding for free. So I'll be posting that link in a little bit. But I also have a couple of the Gray Shade and Icarus books here, which I can sign and send to people. If you're interested in that, you can drop me a PM. At the moment, I only have one anthology left that I'm in, and that's this Robots anthology, which is already spoken for by Dunsel. But when I get to Origins next month in Columbus, Ohio, they're going to be releasing a new anthology called Dragons, and I will have books there, and you'll be able to pick up a copy. They're limited. They're only available at the convention, but you'll be able to get one of those too. So, what's up, Albernacker? This, by the way, is the book, Dunsel. I love this cover. This is the book that was done by Origins. So, they did a really good job with it. Also, my story in here was a story that I wrote on Twitch during my creative stream. It was me, Outstar Walker was illustrating, and Chrono Wolf was setting it to music, and it came out really well, and it was called The Tower. So, and the story that I wrote for this year's version, called Judgment, is going to be in that Dragon's book. You made a virtual tabletop? Nice, man. Yeah, but back in the day, though, see, Games Workshop used to be a good company. Like, back in the 80s, they made Chainsaw Warrior, Warlock of Firetop Mountain, the board game. They obviously were connected with other fighting fantasy stuff. They made Talisman. They made Blood Bowl. They were pretty good back in the day, and then they just became all Warhammer all the time, and that doesn't interest me as much, you know, so, but yeah. Okay. So we are going to enter the hut. What could go wrong, right? Okay. Test your luck. Now, the way that you can test your luck, absolutely you can share a link to your tabletop site. Sure, dude. Of course. Gotcha, Brahms. No problem, man. I will show you very quickly. It's like old school, like golden age of science fiction is what it reminds me of. Like, Kilobyte would probably think about Deadly Tower of Monsters. That's my friend Kelly Swales, who edited this. And, yeah, I think it came out really nicely. It's a really cool cover. The last two, I have to say, the last two Anthos they've done, the covers have been really nice. Really, really nice. And it just looks cool. So, all right. Now, let's jump over to this. Right. What was I going to say? Share the link. I have to leave for class. I don't remember what else I was going to say. But, okay. Righty. So, blah, 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 blah. Entering the hut, yes. So, testing your luck. So, what you're going to be doing for this is you're going to be rolling 2 dice, Law. You're going to compare it to the number of luck. If it's equal to or less than your luck score, you're lucky. If it's above it, you're unlucky. Obviously, you have a 12, so you can't miss it, but it's always a good idea to roll anyway. And then you always go down a luck point when you use it, right? So you always, when you use luck, whether you're lucky or unlucky, you lose a luck point, which is part of the way that that works. And let me take a look at this thing of Albernackers. Table.dire.tools. Ooh, look at that. Oh, nice. Cool, man. Welcome to Dire Table. It is dire. It is also a table. NPC, 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 NPC. That's cool. Can I take a 6 on both dice? What do you mean, can you take a 6 on both dice? What do you mean, Law? Oh, 10. That's fine. Okay, so you're down to 11 luck, but you are, in fact, lucky, because Law rolled really well in creating this character. Okay. You walk past an unseen pit hidden by twigs and leaves. It was built by the fur trapper who used to live in the hut. The door of the hut appears to have been smashed down, and you see 2 broken arrows lodged in the paneling. You examine the arrows and see that they are the type used by goblins. A raiding party must have attacked the fur trapper. You step warily into the hut and search its 3 rooms. You find a hunting knife still gripped by the hand of the dead trapper, but the goblins must have stolen everything else. You tuck the knife in your belt and bury the trapper before remounting your horse and riding off. Alright, guys. We got a hunting knife! Hunting knife hype! I wonder if this is like the Crocodile Dundee hunting knife. I know, exactly, Cairo, right? Can I take? Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So, success. 2 hours later, you are deep in the hills. You gaze up at the somber gray sky, scanning it for winged killers that might swoop down to attack. Exactly, +1 human decency for burying a guy. Exactly, exactly. Hunting knife hype. There are no flying creatures to be seen, but an unnerving silence sends a shiver down your spine. Suddenly, your horse whinnies and rears up onto its hind legs. Roll 2 dice. So we need to roll 2 dice, Law. We're looking for equal to or less than your skill. I know you can't possibly fail this because you have an awesome skill, but nonetheless, it's always important to, as we say, clear the die roll. Because that's, if you do roll a 12, that's a 12 you can't use for later or whatever. So go ahead and roll this 2 dice. 10. Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Okay, so. Keeping a firm grip on the reins, you're able to stay in the saddle. Suddenly, 3 evil-looking creatures materialize as if by magic to ambush you. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. You are being fought by this. Observe what you're about to see. Okay, let's see. Let me pop up that. And... I can't wait to tell you guys the name of these creatures. Okay, good. They are here. So, let me this time go into studio mode so I don't make the mistake I made last time. And let's capture. Okay, good. Here we go. Here is what you guys see. I present to you the following. What's up, IMAX? How you doing, man? The stone-colored chameleonites bound forward on two legs with strange, jerky movements. Their bulbous eyes and long tongues protrude from their reptilian heads, and their bodies are covered with scales. But they are humanoid in shape, and each carries a stone club with which to attack you. Now, the bad news is that there's 3 of them. The good news is that A, they're not that powerful, and B, if you're on horseback, you can add 2 to your strength during each round of combat. So basically you have an effective skill of 14. So these guys should not be that big a deal. And you have a hunting knife. Yes, I mean there's clearly that too. All right. All right, so in just a minute, I'm going to fire up the combat music here. Whoops. 6. All right, let's get us some. Let's get us some combat music. Actually, I guess actually this music works. This is kind of combat-y. What was the name of our horse? I don't think it had a name. You can name it, you know, Wild Horse. You can name it Shadowfax. It's up to you. Okay, Law. So the way this works, as you folks know, is Law is going to roll 2 dice. He's going to add it to his skill. I am going to roll 2 dice and add it to the creature's skill. The higher score wins and does 2 points of damage to the other creature, unless you use luck for various reasons, which I won't get into right now because it's not important. So, we name it butter cheese because reasons. So, right now, you've got, you're sitting on a 12 skill, and so now is the time, if you wish to do this, now is the time to make it occur. So go ahead and roll 2 dice, Law, please. I mean, if you want to name them butter cheese, that's fine. I still feel like butter cheese. It's a lot of cheese and dairy. How about butter goat cheese? Mascarpone. Oh, the day the earth stood still. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly it. Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Golden Age of science fiction type of thing. Okay, 21. So he needs a 14 to win. He doesn't get it. Okay, second round. Next round here, Law. Sends his energy to Law. Okay, next round, Law. Rogan raises his hand, sends his energy. Send the energy. Send the energy. Send the energy. Send the energy. All right, Law. Next roll. Another 21. All right. Once again, would not be able to do anything about that. So, again, you got an effective skill of 14. It's actually not even 12. I keep forgetting. It's not 12, it's 14 because you're on horseback. So, technically, that's been 23. So, yeah, I keep forgetting about that. So, really, you would have to roll really badly. You could lose a round or two, but it would be pretty damn hard. 20. All right, he needs a 13 to tie. He doesn't get it. Yeah, the chameleonites are very overmatched, especially with you on back of the horse. All right, one more time to put down this first chameleonite. This looks like you're fighting the creature from Sing. I don't know if you remember, there's like a lizard that, if any of you saw the movie Sing, the animated movie around the holidays, there's a lizard that Mrs. I can't remember what her name is, but anyway, this reminds me of like you're fighting her. Okay, they just need a 13 to tie. They get a 12! He tries to reach you, but you punch him in the face, and he drops. All right, first chameleonite is dead. Second chameleonite. Even weaker than the first chameleonite. This is very cathartic after those flies, I know. Well, the flies, the holder, they're just like, poof, and you're like, oh, you have a chance. You're just dead. No opportunity to fight back. You just died. 21. All right. A 7 is obviously not going to get it done. He's down to 4. next roll. For those of you, by the way, who are watching for the first time, my name is Arvin Eleron. This is the Fighting Fantasy Gamebook playthrough of Crypt of the Sorcerer, number 26. Also being specially live illustrated today by TariToons, our very talented cartoonist in residence, I guess I would say. And if you like what you see in here, you should definitely make sure to follow the channel. You should support all the various things. Check out our Discord with exclamation point Discord, YouTube with exclamation point ArvTube, Steam group with exclamation point Steam group, and of course the Patreon, which is standing right above you. The Patreon is making it possible to do stuff like this and other events. So please support that if you can with exclamation point ArvTreon. That's basically my subsystem. We are a Twitch affiliate now too, so you can cheer in the channel if you wish, officially. Yeah. And also, Tara, you should put, I'm going to get this as a command as well, but you should put a link to your Patreon, just like in the chat someplace.
I will do so.
Okay. 19 and 13 is not going to get it done. He has a 6, so that's not even enough. Down to 2. All right, let's see if you can finish this second Chameleonite off. And I am a supporter of Terry's Patreon because her work is awesome sauce. So you guys should support it as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. How's it? I see that you've taken off the public money. How's it doing, by the way, Terry? Are you pleased with the development of it, the Patreon?
Well, it's kind of going really slowly because I'm not really sure what to do with it, what I can do with it. I'm still trying to figure everything out.
Okay.
And also, like, the problem with like doing art is that it's like very much dependent on how much time and inspiration I have at the moment. So there are times where I'm like doing nothing but drawing for 3 days straight, and then I don't draw for an entire month. So it's kind of weird. And like the last thing I did was like do a poll whether or not people want me to like switch to paying per drawing instead of paying per month.
Mm-hmm.
But I only got like 2 votes in, so
I just added a vote. I've been busy, but I just added a vote. So okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely there's a ramp up phase where you're figuring out what to do with the Patreon that you've got. So, you need to talk to you about that at some point, Terry and Arv. Oh, forgetting. Oh, you mean about my Patreon? Oh, that's cool, dude. That's fine. I was like, wait, what? Okay, 20. And let's see. That 7 is not going to get it done. All right, the second chameleon drops dead. Chameleonite. I don't want to take away the "ite" at the end of their word. So, third chameleonite is the only one that's left. He looks around nervously. He says. Which is chameleonite for, oh crap. Also, where are my friends, the harpoon flies? Those are the basic things. 20. All right. This is just slaughter. You just like around with your horse, like, whoa, death to you all. Like, this is not even a fair fight. So yeah, so we will be doing this stream until 3, and then we will be getting on out of here. I will be, if 10 of Clubs is in here, I might actually read her character background, but then I have to get going because at 4 o'clock Eastern, we'll be doing Dungeons & Dragons with the GOG stream team over on my Pen and Pixel show over at GOG.com. And then tonight I have to continue to do some other work and stuff in preparation for various things. So yeah, anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah, the 14 modifier is nuts. I mean, that's just, yeah. It's just it's not happening for this guy. If this guy rolled a 12, a 19, you would need a 5 to tie it on 2 dice. So, chances are not good. I wonder what statistically the chances would be of the Chameleonite actually winning this fight. It's obviously possible, but... Okay, let's see if you can wipe this guy out here. 21, 5. Okay, and they go down without much of a struggle, quite honestly. Down they go. All right. Success. Especially because you're only attacking one of them at a time as well. Or they're only attacking you. You look down at the lifeless bodies of the Chameleonites and recall a legend you were once told. It is said that the blood of these rare creatures gives a human being the power of perfect camouflage just once in his or her life. It is also said that there are sometimes terrible side effects. Do you wish to dab some chameleonite blood onto your body, or spur your horse on further east? Consume the darkness. You just missed a slaughter, Bear, in our positive way, in our favor. We wiped out these chameleonites, and so we're now deciding if we want to dab chameleonite blood on our body. We always need to dab after we win, yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I can see some value to having the ability to camouflage oneself. I'll just say that. Like, I can see the value of that. It was a glorious slaughter, especially after the flies incident. I think we can all agree with that. All right, let us go back to our spectacular artwork. Haha! In the meantime, Caius has been much more completed. Caius looking like a badass. And it turns out the blood is like acid and we melt. Well, that would be a big old whelp. Alright, we'll last call this. That could be your self-portrait, Elias. Really? You're quite buff then. Where is your, what is it, the pilum? Is it the pilot? No, the pilum. I think it's the pilum. And, you got the sandals going on. I assume that's what you look like after a pleasant day hanging out at your villa. Save state. Well, after you get out, once you get past the this section, there will be a save point after this, yes. Okay, sounds good, Irish. All right, here we go. Chameleonite blood on our body it is. You tentatively dab some blood onto yourself and wait to see if you feel any ill effects. Roll one die. So roll one die, please. Roll one die, please, Law. Tell me what you get. Don't assume, by the way, that 6 is going to be bad like it was the last time. Doesn't mean one way or the other, so... That's what you look like in a foggy bottom bathroom mirror. 2. Okay. You roll a 2. You break out in a sudden sweat and are soon consumed by fever. You feel weak and are forced to lie down, shaking uncontrollably. The ordeal lasts an hour and weakens you considerably. Lose 1 skill point and 4 stamina points. At least you have the consolation of being able to camouflage yourself. With your spirits still high, you turn your horse east. If you had rolled a 1, I just looked it up, you would have lost 2 skill points. All right. So, and then, let's see. Please don't be a 1. Yeah, I know. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a save point here. Better than losing 2, exactly. Okay. Save point is going to be this. Okay, save point. Lovely. All right, on we go. At the bottom of the next hill, you see that the ground is littered with the large bones of unknown creatures. Some are piled high, while others are scattered over a wide area. Suddenly, you notice a small, black-cloaked and hooded figure scurry from behind one pile of bones to another. "Go away! Go away!" he shouts in a voice full of fear. Do you wish to approach him, or will you ride around the Valley of Bones? So will you approach the man? Or ride around the Valley of Bones? Okay, yep. That should be fine, Law. Because at that point, Kilobyte should be in. Actually, he's here right now. So Kilobyte will be able to take over at that point. I like how everything in these books is always capitalized. Like, Valley of Bones. Vote one opposite to law. Trouden maintaining the vote opposite of law strategy. Yeah, didn't work so well last time. All right, I'm going to last call this. Are we going to approach him or ride around the Valley of Bones, people? I maintain my vote. All right. And looks like we're in favor of this. Okay. Time to approach him. As you approach the pile of bones, you are assailed by a salvo of bones frantically thrown by the little man. Do you wish to attack him, or will you call out and tell him that you mean him no harm? We mean harm? What? What? I can see this becoming a sort of complicated strategy later in the game where everyone's like, well, wait, is Law actually voting this, or is he voting because he knows we'll vote against him? And give peace a chance, right, Elias? Give peace a chance. They're just acting chaotic good. Reverse psychology, right? It's like in Skyrim. And indeed, that is exactly what fighting fantasy is like. It's like Skyrim, but with pages. Never should have come here. Can't wait to count out your coin. Alright. Alrighty. Mean no harm, looks like it is. The little man stops throwing the bones and asks you why you are trespassing on his ground. You reply that you are on an important quest and that you must find the lost lake. I'm just a simple man. Old man, look at my bones. They're a lot like you. No, I'm just a simple man known as the Bone Keeper, the little man says in a sad voice. And I do not know of any lost lake. I sort through these bones and carve some of them into magical rings. I would very much like a new knife for my work and would gladly give you one of my rings in exchange. Would you like to exchange your hunting knife for one of his magical rings? Will you attack him after all, or will you ride out of the Valley of Bones? Simple men aren't usually called bone keepers. All right. Law is still like, this guy. You're looking at $ there, Biomex, not whatever that symbol is, which I don't even know how you did. It's a pretty amazing symbol, but we're looking at $ here. We have butter cheese. There you go. I don't know. He seems sincere, Trouden. He seems sincere. Hey, what's up, Shadowed? How you doing, man? How's life, Shadow Mage? Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. That's too bad. Try to forget about your sickness with us. Yeah. First of all, that's really awesome. Look at that, chat. Can we get some love for actually it's E-R-E though. Just so you know, Caius E-R-E.
I'm dyslexic. God damn it.
It's fine. That is Caius Erebos, guys. That's our character that TariToons just made.
But yeah, thank you.
Sure.
I'm glad you like it.
It's E-R-E, though.
Yeah, oh god damn it. Yeah.
I had to do that apparently to avoid being sued by Final Fantasy or something. I am just a simple man. My name is Clithgothan the Fourth, rider of the dark horse at the end of the world and commander of the armies that never sleep. Can you point me to the restroom? Really nice, Terry. That looks awesome. Look at that. See? And this is why you guys should go and support Terry's Patreon, and you should, you know, Commissioner. Square Enix, that's right. Exactly, Rogan. It's so true. I don't understand why in every role-playing game you come up and you're like just armed to the teeth, like armor, swords, and everyone's just like, seems legit, and they go after you with their freaking, you know, rusty knife and their leather scraps. Like, dude, I would just look at someone running at my horse like that and I'd be like, I'm better than you. Go away, I'm better than you. But nope, they're like, I can do this, Leroy. All right.
Well, there are some video games where enemies only attack you if you are they are same level, basically.
True, like in MMOs do that. That's true. That's true.
Also, Sacred does it, but I don't know many people actually know that game. So
I know of it, but have never actually played it.
Okay.
I have not played it. Although now that I think of it, I guess there were sort of the principles of that in certain games. Like I'm thinking Dragon Warrior had some effect like that. Basically, everything would just run away from you at a certain level. So, but yeah, that's so cool. I love that character. Awesome. The peasants may be revolting, but their guillotine is sharp. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay. Alrighty. So, we are going to exchange the knife for a magic ring. He cackles loudly and plunges the knife. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what he does. Instead, what he does is, you hand the Bone Keeper the knife. He examines it carefully, grunts in satisfaction, and unties a leather pouch which is hanging around his neck. He hands you a ring made of highly polished bone which has a full moon carved into its surface. Protect you from werewolves, that will, he says very proudly. Just point it at the werewolf and say, 1, 2, 3, turn and flee. That's all. You thank the Bone Keeper for the ring, bid him farewell, and ride out of the Valley of Bones. All right, guys, so we got an anti-werewolf ring. There we go. Lovely. Meanwhile, back at the harpoon flies. All right. So we've got this world is sacred. All right, good. So we've got ourselves a werewolf ring. Lovely. All right. On we go. Leaving the valley behind, you urge your horse up the next hill until you reach a pile of dark granite boulders. The largest boulder appears to have some words chiseled into it, most of which are hidden by moss. Do you wish to dismount and examine the words, or ride on? So... dismount and examine the words on the boulder, or ride on. You like the sneer? The harpoon flies sneer. Oh, Caius Erebos' sneer. Yes. I thought you meant the sneer on the harpoon fly. I mean, the harpoon fly has reason to sneer, right? I mean, I guess Caius has reason to sneer after he you know, took out the Chameleonites, but words can't hurt you, right? Right? All right, last call, last call. And quick reminder, guys, I will be announcing in a little bit two things. I will be announcing first of all, a giveaway, which is, it's a deal, basically a code. If you guys buy a copy of my novel Greyshade, you will get a free copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding, which is the first book in the Storm Talons series that I'm writing in as well. So you'll get a free copy of it with the code that I'm going to put in. Also, later in the stream, I'm going to be announcing the official title for the third book in my Grey Assassin trilogy. Greyshade was book 1 that came out last year. Renegade, which I've been working on, is book 2. That's now done pretty much. It has to go to the publisher in about 2-3 weeks. That'll be coming out in late September, early October of this year. And then next year will be this third book, and I will announce the title of that later today. So you don't want to miss that. I'm already starting to like this picture. Okay. Dismount and examine the words. Born-again heroes always have reason to stare. They're like, ha! I have the power of save points. I think I would feel pretty smug if I rose from the dead, actually. I'd be like, yeah, what's up? What's up now? I think I'd feel pretty smug about it. Okay. Dismount and examine the words. Yes. Yes, indeed. You scrape the moss away and read the words of a rhyme. To go beyond a granite door, press the numbers 184. To go beyond a granite door, press the numbers 184. You memorize the rhyme, remount your horse, and ride on. So... do I not have it in here yet? I have the cheer notifications on. It doesn't look like it worked yet. Shadowed. You might need a space maybe or something. It doesn't look like it came up. Because I have cheer notifications on now. To go beyond the granite door. Yes, exactly, Kilobyte. Exactly. Okay. Right, so, on we go. There it is. Success! Thank you very much for the cheer, man. Thank you very much for the cheer. Shadow Mage with the cheer. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 500. And the cheer for Uncle Elias. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. It works. Okay. So, blah, 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 blah. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. It came through. I think it worked. Or something. Whatever he did worked. So thank you, man. And thank you to Elias, too. Okay. Let's back this up here. Right. Nope, not that. This page. Here we go. At the bottom of the hill, you see a narrow stream running north to south across your path. When you arrive at the edge, your horse stops and puts its head down to drink. Do you wish to release the reins to allow your horse to drink, or force it to cross the stream so that you can continue your quest? So will you release the reins to allow your horse to drink, or force it to cross the stream to continue?
That sounds like a trap.
True, but Livingstone is actually very well known for writing these things to make them seem like traps. So it could be a tarp. I admit that. Welcome back, Nirvash. It was a glorious death. It was certainly a fast death. I think we can all agree with that. Okay. So, what are we going to do, guys? Release the reins to allow the horse to drink, or force him across the stream to continue? Yeah, we lost skill and stamina, Nirvash, because we fought and defeated these chameleonites. And the chameleonite blood, when you dab it on you, it allows you to camouflage yourself once. But it also has side effects. So the side effect was we lost some stamina, we lost a skill point. But we now have chameleonite blood dabbed on us. So we'll always have that. Worth it, yeah. That's even what it said in the entry. It even said, you know, you ride on in high spirits. So they even said it was worth it. All right, guys, what's it going to be? Release the reins. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. Can we kill our horse and use horse meat for provisions like you can in Skyrim? Sure you can, if you want everyone in the world to hate you forever. Because I will tell you, as someone that there's a animal character, actually Polar knows this if he's still here. There's an animal character that doesn't make it in one of my novels, and oh my god, were people like, how could you let them die? And I'm like, look, I gave him an epic, I mean, he didn't die in vain. I mean, there's like, no animals, don't ever. I was like, oh my god. So, yeah. Must move with care. Alright, we're going to last call this. Looks like people want to let the horse drink. They do not want PETA involved. And all right. So we're going to allow our horse to drink. You can lead a horse to water and allow it to drink. Okay. Your horse drinks long and hard at the cold stream. You decide to do likewise as you believe the water to be pure in the hills. Add 1 stamina point. There you go. When you think your horse has rested enough, you remount and cross the stream. You reach the brow of the next hill and look eastwards into the distance. All you can see is the never-ending range of hills stretching out into the gloom of the dark sky. Suddenly you hear the sound of galloping hooves and shrill war cries piercing the silence. You turn to look behind you and you see this. Agreed, Trouden. Yeah, I heard about that, Law. I heard about that. Okay, so you see this. So let me just throw this into studio mode here. And give me 1 sec. Just 1 second. Gotta let that tension build. Okay. All right, you guys see this. Okay. You guys see this. You turn to look behind you and see a group of goblins charging up the hill on horses riding bareback. One of them carries a banner with shrunken heads swinging from it. There are 4 goblins in the raiding party and you must quickly decide what to do. Will you charge down the hill to attack the goblins, or will you gallop away from them? There are 4 of them. So, will you charge down the hill to attack the goblins, or will you ride away from them? This must be the same group that killed the fur trapper. Yeah. Apparently. I'm a little surprised. I thought you guys would run after them with the 11 skill and with only 4 goblins. I figured you guys were going to be all about it. Let me get this straight. You guys are Law's bloodthirsty for killing the Bone Keeper, but with goblins, he's like, eh. I mean, a man who throws bones at us is a severe threat, but goblins... Hey, butter cheese! Exactly. It's like that part in Dances with Wolves where he's like riding in front of the army, like with his his arms out on the horse. Which, by the way, is the best part of that movie. You're sending an email to your professor. Don't skip class, Law. We're only going to be on until 3, so don't skip class. Don't skip class. I cannot be party to people skipping classes for the benefit of this stream. While we're waiting, by the way, quick reminder that if you haven't already done so, please sign up for this. This right here is the Talisman Tournament. We've got 8 people signed up for it so far, which is halfway. We can run it with 8, but 16 people is the total amount that we can accommodate for this tournament. This is going to be held next month. There's going to be a couple of rounds to it. You need a copy of the Talisman Vanilla game, by which I mean not with any of the expansions or anything, which is available on Steam or on Android or on iOS. It's cross-platform. You can play in any one of those. and you can sign up right there. You can also possibly win a copy of the game, even if you don't have the game now. There are going to be a couple of copies given away by Uncle Elias. So if you were interested, definitely jump in. We got 8 people signed up for it, and as I said, it's not happening till next month, but now is the time to sign up. So if you are interested, get involved in that. Oh, and I think this is probably at the bottom of the hour. I will do at 2:30. I will make my announcement about the title of the 3rd book in the series, and I'll give you guys that code so that you can get a copy of, if you buy Grey Shade, you get a copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding. So, yes. Oh, and Kilobyte is an extra copy. So we got 3 copies of Talisman that can be given away. So if you don't have one, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't play. You can sign up for it and then try to get a copy, one of the free copies that either Elias or Kilobyte will be giving away because they're good people. So, yeah. You're too lazy to go. You must go. Actually, isn't it late, Law? Isn't, like, when is class over? Is this like this isn't like a summer session, is it? It feels like early for, it feels really early for a summer session, and it feels really late. I mean, I don't know. I just gave my last final exam yesterday, and I think the last final exam at my university, I think, is like Thursday of this week or something, Wednesday or Thursday. So, okay. All right, so I think I last called it. Did I last call it? I did not. I shall last call it now. Last call. Oh, you do semester instead of quarterly. Oh, okay. My dad used to teach, and he used to complain about it constantly. He was a college professor also. And he used to teach in a trimester system, and oh my God, did he hate the trimester system. Like, he just constantly complained. He was just like, oh, trimester. Because it didn't sync up with most other colleges and universities, and so there was always kind of like out of sync. If people wanted to go home, they were always going home at the wrong times, because it was just like really, yeah, trimester. It was a big thing with like Western universities, apparently. A lot of those had it, and I don't know how many people still have the trimester, but ugh. And I've never had a chance. I've never taught in a trimester system. Semester system, I taught as, I mean, that's what I do now. So actually, wait. Well, you mean you do quarterly instead of semester? Is that what you mean? Because most universities do semester. I was saying that usually the spring semester is over by now, is what I was saying. So you mean you do it quarterly? Is that what you meant? All right, let us close this poll. We are going to attack us some goblins, people. You're going to attack us some goblins. You manage to maneuver your horse so that you can fight the goblins one at a time. I'm always... Okay. I'm curious. How would you guys spell the term maneuver? 16-week courses. That's actually a little long. A semester is usually 14 weeks. I think it's with an E, but... Right. The way Elias spells it, right? That's what I thought. Okay. Here's how they spell it. Right. So here's how they spell it in here. This is how they spell it in here. What the hell is that? That's how you spell it? You spell it that same way? Really? Oh my goodness, what is that spelling? Maneuver. You started in January and finished up last Thursday. Yeah, Black Belt, exactly. My last day of class was last week, and my last final was yesterday that I administered, so yes. And I have grades are due, I think, by like tomorrow evening. I have most of mine done. I have a few left to do. Like by tomorrow or Thursday, I think, at the latest, so. It's French? Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's definitely French.
It's definitely French. It's just odd that they use it, though, in this... Why would he use that term? I don't know. It's just... Wow. Yeah, be like maneuver, almost. Okay. Anyway, you manage to maneuver your horse, whatever it is, so that you can fight the goblins one at a time. Which is interesting. That's quite some serious maneuvering. Okay. Butter cheese is quite the maneuver. Now, the good news here is that these are goblins, and that means they're not giants. So, even with you having a point off of your skill, this should not be a threat, quite honestly. You can stay the whole duration. All right. Well, I'm glad you can stay, I guess, but I don't know, Law. I don't know. Okay. So here we go. 55566566. Here we go. So, Law, if you would please, let's get this combat going. The professor in me is angry. Yes! The professor in me is troubled. Also, I have now decided that when someone tells me that they have some illness, I'm going to be like, are you actually watching a Twitch stream? Because I know. You're adding 12. This does not tell us 14. It only does that if it... So it's... And it's actually not 12. Remember, it's 11. So it's 11. So 11 plus 2 dice. It's 11. So it's 18. I'm very disappointed, yes. Okay, he needs a 13 to tie. He does not get it, quite obviously. So he's down to 3 points. $18. Okay, right. That's what I got. All right. Next roll. Next roll. So you hit him. He falls back. Rawr! That's dedication right there, Terry. That's dedication. Okay, 19. Clearly that is, he has not enough to get the 19. All right, he looks almost dead. I feel like Chaos is just such a boss, you know? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the host, Chatter. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you for the host, Chatter Mage. I appreciate it. Can we use a luck point? You could. I don't know whether you need to, though. Honestly, with this kind of... I mean, you have such an advantage on him. You got a 6-point skill advantage on this dude. I don't know what's worth it. Yeah, Shatter on Tuesdays, man. And this is a big one because this actually has TariToons doing illustrations. You'll see that in a minute once these guys deal with the goblins. But good to see you, dude. I should probably do Frank. I should probably support Franker Z also. I should just get them all in here. I should probably get all of it. Okay, 18. That's an 11, but even an 11 plus 5, 16 is not enough. So the first goblin slumps dead from his this. Maybe they are sick and watch. Well, listen, if they... No, that's actually fair. If they are actually not feeling well enough to be in class... and they're just watching a Twitch stream, I'm cool with that. I'm not expecting that they need to be literally like, you know, comatose or it doesn't count, but... Yeah, oh, poor Shadow. Okay, 21. He needs a 16 to tie. He's not going to get it. You guys are such... Caius is such a badass. He's on his horse, like... I was about to say, are you not entertained? And then I realized, well, I guess that would work, actually. Are you not entertained? You're a goblin. Why are you on a horse? The horse is like, nay. The horse is like, I was just trying to win. Which line is that? 15. Oh, he's got a shot. He needs a 10 to tie. He doesn't get it. Oh, it's such a big moment for him. Character's such a badass. He's like on his horse. You know, I actually in the third sign, there's a prominent role for a horse whose name is Arnane, that's ridden by Senevine, actually. And in there, I actually at one point made reference to the mighty stallion until, fortunately, a reader, before I actually released the book, was like, you realize that this is a stallion is a male horse, right? Thank God. That would have been pretty damn embarrassing. We're talking about a mare, not about a stallion. Okay, 13. Oh, there's a shot. 8 to tie. 7. Oh, he saw his moment, but he flew too close to the sun. The second goblin does not get it done. All right. That leaves us with 2 goblins left. They circle you warily. Third goblin comes riding in. Keep doing it with my left hand, but I'm actually right-handed. I'm almost feeling bad for these goblins, right? The Chameleonates and the goblins are just not up. They're just not a match. They're just not. Okay, 2 plus 4 plus 11 is 16. I was going to say that is not 16. Under what theory of logic? Maybe you should go to class and learn what 2 plus 4 plus 11 is. Okay, an 11 to tie, a 12 to beat. He gets a 4. Third goblin kind of was like, whoo. As with mighty sweeps of your sword. Whoosh, whoosh, yeah, typo. All right, guys, about 13 minutes away from the announcement of the third title in the series, in the Grey Assassin Trilogy series, and I'm going to be putting a code in chat that you can use if you want to buy a copy of my novel Grey Shade. You will get a free copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding. Oh my God, did they really, Mirinda? That's terrible. I mean, listen. There are still things that, like, mistakes that I see that I'll cringe at, which most people wouldn't catch. A few might. But that's just like, what the what? And you don't, plus you have no idea how many people had to fail on that. That's not just the author, right? Like, you have no, or the publisher, I shouldn't say the author, I had nothing to do with it. The publisher, because they're the ones who control that. Oh my God, man. All right, so 17. He needs an 11 to tie, 12 to beat, doesn't get it. All right. He looks very hurt now. The 4th book in the trilogy. That's actually, look, if you want an epic trilogy, you want a trilogy that is beyond 3 books, right? Like, you think like a regular trilogy is badass, right? But if you have a trilogy with 4 books, there's never going to be a better trilogy. I mean, come on. Okay, he needs a 14 to tie. 15, he doesn't get it. All right, now only 1 goblin remains. The goblin, like, rides around looking at the sad remains of his raiding party. Yeah, I know, exactly. All fantasy books come in trilogies. Who doesn't like extras, right? It's like a trilogy plus a bonus. Trilogy plus 1. I mean, there have definitely been, I mean, Brandon Sanderson thought he was doing a trilogy in this one series, and then he added out another couple books. But then he didn't say, like, okay, this is still part of the trilogy. It became like a new trilogy or whatever, or it leaves it open-ended. Like, you know, the Grey Assassin trilogy is a trilogy, depending on how things end. Could there be a spin-off book or a book after? Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But I wouldn't be like, part of the original trilogy, you know. 5 plus 3 plus 11 is 8. Or 19. Alright, needs a 13 to tie. 14 beat doesn't get it. What about a 5-book trilogy? Right, EKAG? That's what I'm talking about. Lord of the Rings is a double trilogy. Well, remember, of course, Lord of the Rings was not intended to be a trilogy. Tolkien wanted to write that as 1 book. And the interesting thing about that, the publisher wanted him to split it into 3, Fellowship of the Ring, 2 Towers, and Return of the King. But the interesting thing is that if it had been up to Tolkien, it would have released as 1 book. These days, the Lord of the Rings would be pretty much like, no one would blink at that. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's an epic fantasy. Like, it would be a doorstopper fantasy, but they'd be like, well, there's lots of doorstopper fantasies. In fact, I sometimes think that epic fantasies these days are too bloated. And I happen to be a huge epic fantasy fan, but I think sometimes they're too much. But yeah. So, I mean, like, Tolkien wanted it as 1 book to begin with. So, the Hitchhiker's Guide trilogy.
What is the Doorstopper trilogy?
Doorstopper trilogy book is a reference to massive books that essentially are so heavy you could hold a door open or closed with them. And there are literally some books that are that big, like lots of Robert Jordan books. My friend Brad Bollier does that as well. Let's see, 19. So a 13 does not get the job done. Down to 2. Today, Lord of the Rings would be 9 movies. Oh, God. I mean, EK, in my course on the Lord of the Rings, I teach it as one book with 3 parts. I mean, that's basically what it is. Although I do have to say that the end of book 2, the end of Two Towers, is a badass ending. Frodo was alive, but taken by the enemy. Like, oh, so good. Well, and also, it's shelf space, right, Elias? Like, if you put a massive book on the shelf, there are 2 other authors that could have gone in that same space, right? There's a literal physical limitation to it. So there's a sweet spot. And usually they like between 80 to 120,000 words. 130 is pushing it, but it's fine. And they do take bigger books, but like when you're like 200, 210, 220, they have to kind of contemplate that. And they look kind of ridiculous. I have to be honest. When you carry around a book that's like this, it's a little silly looking, quite honestly. Oh, God, I know, right, Shatter? Yes, at the time, and the other thing was it was a big investment for them because they didn't know if a huge book, as they saw it, was going to actually do as well as it did, even though The Hobbit had been very successful. But 14, okay, 8 to tie, 9 to beat, does not get it, and the 4th goblin falls. All right, the 4th goblin dies without you taking a hit. That's it, Marinda. Yep. I know it, exactly, Beautiful Bear. Peter Jackson desperately needs an editor. Lord of the Rings films were great. Hobbit, not so much. Okay. And that is my favorite book, and so I hope that someday they do it right. Okay. So, good job, guys. A search through the canvas bags belonging to the goblins yields 2 gold pieces. Hell yeah, gold pieces. Some stale cheese. That's right. Stale cheese. Yep. I thought you'd be happy about that. And... stale cheese, and a cracked mirror in a silver frame. So, stale cheese hype. So, the question is, you pack away the gold in the mirror and examine the cheese. Do you wish to eat the cheese, or throw it away and ride east?
Don't you dare throw it away.
Can we just keep it somewhere? Apparently not. Well, no, because it's just going to get more stale. There comes a point where you got to fish and cut bait, Trouten, Comes a point where you got to do it. Oh, you guys are... listen. You guys are going to get in some serious trouble with TariToons if you keep up this throwing it away stuff. It's stale cheese, Meanwhile, justice reigns from... wow. Poor Caius. That's such a great picture. Tucking the cheese in a pocket and riding east is impossible. Nope. This is one of those moments you either eat the cheese now, or you forever hold your peace. Or you forever hold the cheese, by which I mean you throw it away. Sometimes, if you were given the chance to eat cheese... like, for example... I have here a Chips Ahoy cookie. Now, I'm not going to just eat part of the cookie and then throw away the rest. I'm eating a Chips Ahoy cookie. By the way, this is a Canadian Chips Ahoy cookie. So I'd like to thank my friends north of the border for making Chips Ahoy.
Arf? I actually finished that picture. You have to refresh the thing. I have it up on the Skype right now.
There it is. Justice reigns from above. Look at that. Oh, man. These have been great, Terry. Seriously. So good. Look at that, guys. I love this. Can we do this every day? I love this. This is so much fun. I love these pictures. I'm not stealing your cookies. I bought these cookies. I bought these cookies. Listen, not only did I not steal your cookies, I lost money on the affair, let me just tell you, Cujo. Because I had to take my American dollars and use it on your Canadian products, thereby not making America great again. Oh, God. Okay. So, it looks like we have decided to eat the cheese, people. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at this next image. Oh, yeah, Caius on the horse. Caius on the horse. Did I pay import duty tax on those? I paid everything I was expected to pay. Now imagine raisin cookies. No, ECAG. I am not going to imagine them. I do not.
Delicious.
There will be no raisin cookies here. Okay, so we're going to eat the cheese. The cheese is dry and hard, but still nourishing. Add 2 stamina points. Huzzah! After you did it. See, the cheese worked. After you've finished eating, you slap your horse on the neck and ride east. But you slap him too hard, so he falls over dead. Peter rides up. I'm just kidding. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to give you guys a save point here. Because you've done very, very well. I need to write a Fighting Fantasy Gamebook with Terry doing the illustrations. Hey, listen. If Fighting I'm telling you right now, if Tin Man or Fighting Fantasy, Scholastic has this right now, if they approached me, I would absolutely write Fighting Fantasy Gamebook, and I would push for Terry to be the illustrator. But if I did that, you know, Terry would have to, like, you know how much I love her work. That would be, like, legit. People don't mess around with these illustrations. We were actually looking last night when we were doing a test stream, and we found out that the actual illustrator for this book is best known for his nature pictures. So he, like, does dinosaurs and all these kinds of things, but he also does Fighting Fantasy Gamebook illustrations. So it would be, you know, it would be serious stuff. So if anyone is listening, I have reached out to the people at Scholastic UK. If anyone is listening or watching this stream, I would love to. I'm not going to volunteer. I would need to be paid. So would Terry. But I would love to write a Fighting Fantasy Gamebook someday, and I would love for Terry to be the illustrator for it. So have that noted. Suddenly you feel gassy.
Absolutely up for that.
Right? I mean,
Illustration is like, damn.
that would be pretty sweet. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we've got that saved. All right. So this is a good time, I think, guys, to pause here for just a minute and to make the 2 announcements that I wanted to make. So. The first announcement is I want to announce the title for the 3rd book in the series, the Grey Assassin Trilogy. This has been cleared through my publisher, so this is now official. So book 1 of that series was called Grey Shade, as you guys know. Book 2 of the series is called Renegade. That is coming out in October of this year. And I am pleased to announce that book 3 and the final book of the Grey Assassin Trilogy, which will be coming out next September, October of next year, 2018, is called Heretic. So the title for book 3 is Heretic. So we have Grey Shade is book 1, Renegade is book 2, Heretic is book 3. And I'm excited for that. It took me a while to come up with that. I had some possibilities like Atonement, Absolution, some other ones, but that worked out. So Heretic is book 3. So that is the official announcement. That is the book that will be coming out next year. Renegade, of course, you guys already know the title for that. That's coming out this year. Now, the second announcement, Grey Shade, Renegade, Heretic. Yep. And then the second announcement that I want to make has to do with a special code that I want to give you guys. You know, it's not going to be called Hexen or Beyond Heretic. I was aware that there were some possibilities, but... Okay. Whoops. So, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to find the code. Okay. I wish to find the code. That I'm going to give you guys. Now, this code that I'm about to give you is going to allow you to buy a copy of Grey Shade and get those. Oh, we got some Witcher going on. The code is going to let you get a copy of Grey Shade. If you buy a copy of Grey Shade, you will get a free copy of Words of Unbinding as well. So that will be pretty sweet. Words of Unbinding is Ed Greenwood's book. So... Alright, so just give me a second here. don't want to open my other... Oh, well, I will. I will open up my Outlook, even though I wasn't planning it. For each copy bought, 1 copy is sold. Right, I will sell you 1 copy for every copy that you buy. For every copy you buy, I will give it to you. That's how this works. That's exactly the kind of process that we like to go with here. Okay. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here's the so here is the link. So if you guys go here, you will see there is a place where you can buy a copy of my book Greyshade that I've been talking about, which is there we go. It's a copy of this. It's a copy of this, my book Greyshade. If you get a copy of that in e-form, so the ebook copy there, you will get a free copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding if you use this coupon code that I'm typing in here. And it's only good until May 14th, and it's only for the first 100 customers, and I know that a few people have already taken advantage of it. So if you type in that code, Maygray, at that link when you check out, you will get not only the copy of my book Greyshade, which you have bought, of course, but you will get a free copy of Ed's launch novel, Words of Unbinding. So if you have been interested in getting into Storm Talons and you wanted to find out more about it, now is the time to do it. If you go to that link that I just put there, you get a copy of Greyshade, and then type in Maygray at the checkout, you will get a copy of Ed's book, Words of Unbinding. And it's Ed Greenwood, so, you know, obviously, you know the deal with that, like how awesome that is. So that's the deal with that. Okay, good. So that is the deal with that. Maygray. So those are the 2 announcements. Maygray and should have been Gray May. Yeah, well, you know. But then that would have depressed people, Gray May. So yes, Maygray is the code for you guys to use, and the name of the title, as it's the title of the book, Heretic. So that's the deal with that. Where's the specific technical meaning, which most people don't know or care about? Yeah, but I think it still sounds cool, Marinda. I still think it seems cool. I think some people have a sense of it being cool. Okay, so it is 2:30. We got about a half hour left. Again, we are playing through Crypt of the Sorcerer. So far going pretty well, except for that harpoon flies situation. And I am accompanied, of course, by TariToons, who has done so far, let's see, 1, 2, 3 amazing illustrations and is working on a 4th. The harpoon flies, justice reigns from above, because that was the way the harpoon flies felt. That's how they roll. But other than that, Caius has pretty much wiped out everyone else. And so this is Caius on the horse butter cheese. So it sounds cool, which is why most people don't know or care about its technical meaning. Yeah. Well, there was a term that I could have used. I could have used the term apostate, which is someone who goes against his or her previous faith. And I thought about that, but quite frankly, apostate doesn't sound as good. You know, like if I'm looking at it and I go Greyshade, Renegade, Heretic, that sounds pretty awesome. If I go Greyshade, Renegade, Apostate, they'll be like, what? So that is a term that's too technical, apostate, even though it's a little bit more correct. I mean, Heretic still fits. Apostasy and heresy are not the same thing. No, they're not. Apostasy is where you literally renounce your faith publicly. So, yes, not the same thing. But I'm happy with it. I could call it a prostate, yes. I could have done that, I suppose. Okay, so anyway, we are doing this, and yes, so let us continue. Where are we? You were going to the thing? Yes. You ride over the top of the hill again and down the other side. At the bottom, you can see a small wood at the end of the valley to the north. Do you wish to ride towards the wood or ride up the next hill? So... I could have called infidel. Yes, that would have some problems. Ride towards the wood or ride up the next hill. Hey, what's up, Classicor? This time it will work. What's going on, Classicor? Classicor, you just missed a couple of announcements. First of all, as you know, we are TariToons is illustrating our Gamebook playthrough right now. Secondly, I just announced that Book 3 of... I just announced the title, the official title for Book 3 of the Grey Assassin trilogy. I know you've read Greyshade. Book 3 is going to be called Heretic. So that's now official from the publishers. So Book 2... Welcome back, Game Crashers. Welcome back, Rob. So Book 1 is called Greyshade. Book 2 is Renegade, and officially announced today that Book 3 is called Heretic, which is... so I'm excited to be able to announce that. And then the last thing is that I know you already have this, but if people are interested... They can pick up a copy. If you buy a copy of the Greyshade ebook direct from Onder Librum, which is basically the store page for Ed Greenwood, if you buy it from there, you can type in the code MAYGRAY, and MAYGRAY will get you a free copy of Ed Greenwood's first book in the Storm Talons line called Words of Unbinding. Not Canoe's Revenge. Yeah, thanks, Marinda. I know, so was I. Marinda, I was too. I actually did some research on it, and there were not a lot of... I mean, there are some, but there are not a lot of Heretic book titles out there. There was the Heretic game, but I was like, well, there's not even really a Heretic movie that's really that well known or anything. So it just kind of was like... It kind of worked. I was like, well, I mean, I'm going to take it. So...
Well, there is a Warhammer meme.
There's
Heresy meme.
Heresy, that's true. Heresy.
Yes.
The Horus
According
heresy
to this, you are a heretic. Best meme.
The Horus
Trudon
heresy.
knows it very well.
But that's cool with me though, because if they're gonna connect up Warhammer and people like, oh, that must be Warhammer. I mean, that's fine. If they accidentally buy my book thinking it's Warhammer, they're like, wait, oh, well, maybe this is kind of cool. Oh. I don't know if you heard me talking about that, Rogan. I seriously considered apostate. And actually, I happen to like the word apostate. But apostate it doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely as heretic does. Also, apostate is not as well known. They're not quite the same thing either. Apostasy is a public renouncement of your position. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but that's not necessarily what's going on in this book. And so, yeah. It's not quite the same thing. The Horus heresy.
Well, if you would have gone with apostate or what's called, then you would have gotten all the Dragon Age fans.
Right. That's right. That's true. So I guess I would have gotten some either way. Maybe I'll just be like heretic and then subtitle an apostate story. I'll be like, wait, what is this? Dragon Age Warhammer?
It's the ultimate crossover.
Exactly.
To end all crossovers.
Exactly. So heretic is generally associated with religious qualities. Thank you for the host, BB. One of the fine our vocalists, of course, our voiceover team. And you'll hear from her on Friday, actually. But the thing about heretic is that there's always... It's this assumption that you have created this violation of highly held beliefs. So... I would say that basically religion is fundamentally important to the term heretic. It doesn't actually... I don't think that it actually has to be a religious betrayal, but it is what everybody uses it as, basically. It's... You would not normally be considered a heretic if you were... Unless it was something that was deeply held. So, Okay. So there we go with that. And I think we've got riding up the next hill. I think I last called this already. You switch from Dark Angels to Grey Knights, so that means you just have to spend another $10,000 to get back up to speed, right? Right, Lo? Yeah, it's best to assume religion, or at least put it this way, something which has religious fervor associated with it. So, for example, if a Linux person were to call you a heretic for not understanding something about Linux, that might fit because there is a religious quality to Linux adherence. I'm just kidding, Glog. I'm just kidding. Oh man, that's correct. But it's considered a non-conformity in an extreme, though, Rogan. Like heresy has the sort of assumption, you would burn a heretic at the stake, type of thing, right? Back in the day. So I'm just joking, Trouden. I'm just joking. I like to have fun with Linux people. Okay. All right. So we are going to ride up the next hill. You're like, the hell with that wood. Who goes to woods these days? Here we go. In the next valley, you enter a small wood. Wait, what? No, there is actually a wood. I love this. I love this. Okay, so it says, if you wish to ride towards the wood, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Or ride up the next hill. I literally turned to the section that says ride up the next hill. In the next valley, you enter a small wood. The hell? So I guess we're automatically going to a wood. Like, whatever we do, it's woods time, I guess, people. In the next valley, you enter a small wood, which has an abundance of flowers and plants, although none of them is pleasing to the eye. Some are diseased, others are covered with thorns, and some emit a foul smell. All of them appear to be strangled by creepers. Although you cannot see anybody, you suddenly hear high-pitched twittering voices. You draw your sword and ride towards where you think the sounds are coming from. A bush moves, and you catch a glimpse of a tiny dark figure before it disappears into the undergrowth. Do you wish to follow the figure, or gallop through the glade as fast as possible? So... But Sherwood Forest is haunted, sire. There we go. Stinky flower is worse than cheese. This music is on point for this. Exactly. Exactly. Nothing bad has ever happened after following a mysterious figure through the woods. Exactly. Blood for the blood god. Okay. Alrighty, here we go, people. I think we did we last call this? I did not. Last call. Last call. Are we following the figure or not? Excuse me. Okay. Milk for the cornflakes. Very nice, very nice. Okay. All right, you guys want to follow the figure, so who am I to stand in the way of chat? Okay. You catch sight of the figure again, running from behind one tree to another. It looks like this. Let me show you guys what it looks like. As I turn to the power of studio mode, which is epically awesome. Let's see. And let's see if I'm able to capture that. Thank you so much for the host, Tren. Another our vocalist member, as of course is Rob, which I believe I mentioned already, but just in case I didn't. Thank you so much, Tren. I appreciate it. Also the person who's working on Gray Shade, the audio book. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, this is what you see. Also, thank you for the host, Law _score. Thanks for the host, Law. Okay, you have crossed my glade too slowly. You catch sight of the figure again, running from behind one tree to another. It is a little humanoid, no taller than a meter. He looks round, stops running, and begins to walk towards you. You notice that he has dark skin, pointed ears, and cat-like eyes. It's Ryuvi. No. He also has wings. Just as you begin to wonder why he did not fly away from you, a weighted net falls on top of you, and the boy-like figure starts to laugh uproariously at you for falling into his trap. As you fall to the ground, it dawns on you that you have fallen prey to black fairies, the most evil of all the little people. From the ground, you look up through the mesh of the net and see 3 more black fairies hovering in the air. They land, and in less than a minute you are bound hand and foot. They empty your backpack and take all of its contents, including the healing potion. Now, the good news here is that the only thing that you really lose here is you didn't have the hunting knife already. The ring is on your finger, so you don't lose that. I'm sorry, no, I say they empty your healing potion, so you lose your healing potion. My bad. Not everything. You just lose the healing potion. And your sword. Well, crap. They take your healing potion and they take your sword. They then begin to amuse themselves by putting insects inside your clothes and slugs in your mouth. Finally, they get bored with their games and fly off with their spoils, leaving you at the mercy of all predators. Test your luck. All right. I do not have wings. That's a good point, Rob. I leave that to Fifely. Okay, Law. So we got to test our luck. Got to test our luck. No sword. No healing potion. Nine. Okay, we were in fact lucky. So, I like how luck is a relative term here. You struggle with your bonds for almost an hour, but mercifully no creature catches your scent. You strain until you pull a hand free at last and untie your feet. Your wrists are bruised and bleeding. Lose 1 stamina point and lose 2 skill points for the loss of your sword. Well, damn. Luckily, your horse has not wandered far, and soon you are back in the saddle and riding out of the glade, galloping east. Well, damn, people. This is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. All right, we got a chance for like basically 2 more encounters before we got to wrap up. We got to pull up shop. We smell of insects and regret. Yes, that is definitely true. You definitely smell of insects and regret. Basically anything with wings has been bad so far, right? The harpoon flies, the fairies. The horse is okay. Us lonely 3 people who voted for that. Exactly. Okay. So here we go. Let's go back to happier times with the horse. The rest of the day soon passes and you find a suitable place to camp for the night, making sure that your horse is securely tethered to a nearby tree. You settle down to sleep but are woken in the middle of the night by the sound of, stop me if you've heard this before chat, buzzing wings. You awaken to the sight of a full moon, but your attention is immediately drawn to 2 luminous objects hovering above your head. Up in these hills there is only one thing they can be: giant fire beetles. These strange beetles attack humans indiscriminately, inflicting serious wounds with their strong mandibles. Within seconds, you're on your feet to defend yourself. Fight the beetles one at a time. Now, the good news is these creatures are not that big a deal. And I love how it's always capitalized. First giant, second giant fire beetle. Skill 5, stamina 4. So the good news is, it's a good thing you rolled so well to begin with, because, oh my god, dude. We love their music instead, exactly. All you need is love. Alright, Law, let's get it on here. Let's do it. Let's do what needs to be done. Let's make it happen. Okay, so we've got a 12. You need a 7 to tie, an 8 to beat. They don't get it. You hit the first fire beetle. It clicks as it flies away from you. Agreed. 17. Okay, it needs a 12 to tie. It does not get it. So the first fire beetle drops. Now I've got the second fire beetle. Alright, second fire beetle. You're basically just punching them, yeah. Because you don't have you don't even have your hunting knife because you gave it up for the ring. Okay. 15 is enough. So it's down to 2. 13. Oh, 8 to tie, 9 to beat. It does not get it. Alright. Alright, you have defeated both of them. Good job, guys. Unable to sleep properly again, you spend the rest of the night thinking about the task ahead. As soon as it is light enough to see, you mount your horse and set off. You climb the highest hill in order to get a better view. Looking northeast, you can hardly believe your eyes. Exactly, classic. A lake, no more than a 2-hour ride away, lies in a valley. A lake! With your spirits revived, you spur your horse towards it. Alright, guys. One of the final encounter of the evening is going to be this of the day. Despite the dark sky, you notice a shadow travel swiftly across your path. You look up and you see this. So, let me show you guys what you see. I think I saw it. I saw it before. You see David Hasselhoff, yes. You see the power of David Hasselhoff before you. No, you don't see that. You see something even more awesome. And I don't know why it's not showing. Sorry, guys. I thought I found this before. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't. It's a unicorn, which is good, but it has wings. No, it is not a unicorn. Alright, well, I can't find this for now. So, instead, I cannot find this for now, so I will... So, never mind. Here we go. You see that. You look up and see a winged creature with an eagle-like head and the body of a lion swooping down to attack you. The creature has a bridle around its head which is held by the rider, a wild-looking girl wearing animal skins. The barbarian girl has a griffin as her steed, an aggressive but loyal creature. Now this one, guys, is not joking around. Skill 9, Stamina 10. Alright. Here we are. Skill 9, Stamina 10 against Skill 9, Stamina 19. A big fight. So this is it. We are fighting this griffin. And she's on top of it. Diplomacy? Help! Alright, Law, let's do it. This will be the last encounter of the day. Let's do it up. This is going to go so well, yes. I have no doubt. What could go wrong? Dice gods, please be with me, RNGesus. Yeah, parlay! Parlay! Please be last encounter. Don't be a 1. Okay. This one's real simple. 18. 10 plus 9 is 19. Huh! We could have fed the griffin the cheese. Yeah, yeah. So the griffin swipes you. Oh, that's actually you. Oh, much more manly. Oh, ouch. The pain. You've hit me solidly there. That was what he actually said. Not, 15. 6 is 15. Tie. Sting. I like that you're just punching the griffin in the face. Like, it just comes close enough, you're just like, just, Griffin. Griffin's like, raw, you're like, Alright, next one, Law. Parsley, parsnip, parlay. 12. 16. That's not getting it done. 2 points of stamina. Dropkick, body slam. Alright. Next one, Law. Yeah, roll higher. I'm trying. 16. 14. Okay, you do hit it this time. It dives in, and then you come in and wham! Uppercut right to its belly. The problem with lead, I think, is that it would have a hard time. It's too soft. What Classic said, it wouldn't hold the edge. That's the problem. I mean, I guess for one strike, it could like hit something and it would be really heavy. So if you could get force behind the blow, and it would give you lead poisoning, but then it would be kind of useless after that. The French thought about it. Can we use luck to do more damage to him? Yes, you could do that if you wish. You could, if you want, on this next attack, if you hit, you could use luck. If you're lucky, then you'll inflict 4 points of damage instead of 2. You could do that if you wish. What's up, Love Shack? So I would say let people know, like people in chat, while Law is rolling, do you want... First, let's see if we hit. And then be thinking if you want to use luck. The way it works is if you're lucky, then you will do more damage. If you are unlucky, you'll do less damage. Either way, you'll lose a point of luck. Let chat decide first. Okay, so chat, I'm not going to do a vote for this. I'm not going to do a poll. But chat, should we use luck if we hit to do more damage to him? If we hit him? Yes or no? Kilobyte says yes. Trendane says yes. Luck, luck. Luck, luck. This looks pretty definitive. Ekeg says no luck. Luck, 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 luck. No luck. Inspire. Maximum luck. Luck, we need it. You could actually inspire. That is a good point. I haven't reset the inspirations. It looks like most of you are in favor of luck. You could inspire. So I do want to ask that, chat. I don't want to take too long because we're running over. I don't want to run over here. But so if one of you wanted, who's on this list, you could inspire, if you wish, to have Law roll twice and take the higher result for combat. You do have an inspire, yes. It's left over, Law. So if you want to use it, you can use it. If you guys are on that list, you can do that. I haven't reset these for this month, but for some of you, like Shatter, for example, that's the same 2 that you had last month. So, you know, this is the maximum that you've got. So we're in a new month now. Yeah, so it's up to you guys. So it looks like we are using luck. Last call on the Inspire. You got to do it before his roll. No? Classic or will. So just it's Inspire, exclamation point Inspire. That's what you do, Classic or. You just added an extra I. Didn't have enough underscores, yeah. I know, it's true. This is in the more sane days that Law had. There it is. Classic or is inspiring. Good job, Classic or. Well done, chat. Good job to Classic or for good stuff. All right. So, Law, you're going to roll twice. You're going to take the higher of the 2 results. And then we're going to use luck after that. So this is to hit him. So, roll twice, higher the 2 results. There's no I in team, but a couple in Inspire. Yes, there are. Nice work, Classic or. Well done, Classic or. You've used up your inspiration for the month, but it's never been a better time. It's a good moment. Okay, so 18 over 17. All right. Let's see if that makes a difference. All right. So you do hit him. Okay, so now you're going to use luck. Now you're going to use luck, Law. So you're going to use luck now. All right, you were lucky. It was because of the Inspire. Yeah, no, I mean, I think so. All right, so you hit him a mighty blow. You lose 1 point of luck because that's what happens when you test. But, so he's now down to 4 points of damage. Now he's down to 4. So the question is, does someone want to inspire Law a second time? Does someone want to inspire Law a second time for this next hit? And then, do you guys want to use luck again or not? So first of all, anyone can inspire if they have an inspiration available to them. You can just type it in chat, exclamation point inspire. Okay, so you have inspired yourself. Excellent. So you can do that now. And now it's a question of using luck. So do you guys want to use luck? The reason you're doing this is to try to basically, from the law of averages point of view, you're trying to finish the fight more quickly. 16 or 14. Okay. So we're going to go with 16. Again, you hit him. So are you going to use luck? That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. 16 works. That's fine. So now the question is whether or not you're going to use luck or not. Are you guys using luck? Because you have hit him. If you're lucky, you'll kill him with a shot. How can you not recognize him? He is the law. So yes, luck. Luck is the law. Luck. So we have luck, luck, no luck, no luck. Oh, Beautiful Bear also said luck. Luck, luck, luck. No luck, no luck, no luck. So we got 3 lucks and 3 no lucks. All right. 3 lucks, 4 no lucks. Okay.
No luck sounds like some kind of alien species.
No luck. I am no luck from Tanagra. Yes.
Exactly.
No luck. Another no luck. Okay, it looks like we're going with no luck. Okay. All right, so you are going to do 2 points of damage. Okay. So, one more combat round. One more combat round that you need to hit him on. One more combat round. One more combat round. I can understand why chat is saving luck. I understand that. That makes some sense. So, here you go, chat. Let's kill this guy off. Exactly. No luck in Jala to Tanagra. His arms open, yeah. All right. Last one. Last one. Let's take him down, Law. Let's make it happen. 17. 4. That was like 3 consecutive 4s. All right. You punch the griffin dead in the face. You just poof, right? In its death throes, the griffin soars up into the sky before plummeting to the ground like a stone some 200 meters away. You do not see the barbarian girl get up from the ground and assume that she's either injured or dead. Do you wish to ride over to investigate or ride towards the lake? So, will you ride over to investigate the creature you just killed? And this is going to be the last decision that we make. All right, here we go. Poor Griffin. Yeah. It hung with the wrong crowd, you know? Hung with the wrong crowd. Ride over. People want to ride over to investigate. Oh, wow. Vote 1 again. Eliza's like, we're going to loot this thing, okay? That's the way this goes. Okay, do I even have to last call this? All right, I'm not... I think it's pretty obvious. I'm just going to close the poll because it's pretty obvious what people want to do. So, you will ride over to investigate. What do we got? Ooh, nice. The girl lies in a contorted heap close to her griffin. There is no sign of life, and you wonder why she attacked you. Perhaps the griffin was hungry and intended to eat horseflesh. The girl was armed with a sword and a shield. If you do not have a sword, you may take the girl's, add 2 skill points. Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. The shield is circular and has strange writing etched around the circumference. Do you wish to take the shield or ride off without it? Sorry, I lied. This is the last decision we're going to make. I do feel constrained to point out that he sometimes writes things that seem like traps when they aren't. I'm not saying this is one of those deals, but he has a tendency to do that. Then watch. This is going to be in before he finally does trap us with something. Take shield. Oh my god. Everyone's like, take shield! I'm not even going to... Okay, yeah, that's pretty definitive. Chat is really all about the shield. Okay. You are instantly killed. No. Alright. You are in possession of a magical shield which dates back some 200 years. It has the unusual ability to defend its carrier from magically cast lightning bolts. It does, of course, defend against sharpened blades, too. Named the Defender by its maker, it is certainly one of the finest shields in all Alonzia. Add 1 skill point and 1 luck point. Hell to the yeah! You sling it over your shoulder and ride off towards the lake. And that will be our final save point of the day, guys. We got us a sword and a shield. What is up? We're Captain America down here. So not too bad, guys. Not too bad, actually. You know, given some of the things that happened and the way this went down, it could have been much worse. We are 6 points down. We don't have a way to restore our health. That's kind of a problem. Especially after this. Look at this Black Fairy, by the way. That is awesome sauce. Oh my god. That is super, super cool. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this under... Let's go with that. And there we go. Immunity to lightning. When an oddly specific defense. Actually, that's a good point. I should write down the fact that we now have... Shield... All right, and all you had to do was kill an innocent griffin to do it, so you should be fine. All right, and let me save that in exactly that spot. Lovely. All right, guys. This was great. This really, really was great. And I don't know, Terry, do you want to cycle through the different things that we did, starting with the sorcerer here? So this was the illustrations that we did today, and these were really awesome. So we started with, of course, the main guy from the cover, Crypt of the Sorcerer. That was our opening cartoon. And then the second was a picture of Caius Erebos, who looks like that. He looks like a super badass. That's our hero, who is once again restored to his badassery, pretty much. Then we ran into some harpoon flies, and that was not so good, because the harpoon flies rained justice from above by killing our guy. That was our one death that we had, was from this. But Caius Erebos, undaunted, continued to ride forward on his horse Buttercheese, which is right there. That's a really awesome picture, too, as he continued to go forward. And then finally, we had stuff taken from us by the Black Fairy, although, when all was said and done, we managed to get our shield back anyway. So these are really, really great. So I really love these. We need to make sure that these get posted everywhere. Chat, can we get some serious love for Tari? And chat, can I assume that you're going to want us to do this again in the future? We'll because our plan is to try to do this around once a month-ish or so. So are you guys cool with us doing this again? Did you like the experience of having Tari drawing? I'm going to guess pretty much I know the answer to this, but I'll just... Yeah, yes, Tari, get hyped. Okay, I'd say that's a pretty strong get hyped. Love. All right, well...
Aww.
Wow, I guess that's overwhelming.
Guys.
There you go. This was delightful. It's good stuff. I hope you had fun, Terry. This was great.
This was awesome. So if you guys want me back, I'd definitely be up for more.
Yeah, that's really cool. Maximum hype. You don't have to qualify as a serious love or just creepy. I'm sure it's just serious love. I'm sure that's fine. Very, very cool. We will definitely have Terry back. We will do this again. I'm really excited, and we'll be able to go forward with... it really made a difference having a chance to see this. You're only here for Terry's drawings. Yeah, whatever. The hell with the Gamebook, Arv. Get this clown with the Boston Red Sox hat off the screen. What really matters... What really matters is TariToons. But this was awesome. And by the way... I'm not going to go into details about this, but I will simply say that TariToons may be involved with something else involving this channel in the future, but I cannot say more about that now. I will simply say that there is something in the works that will involve Terry in the future. So I'm just letting you know. Terry, thank you so much. I will settle up with you a little bit later. But thank you so much. This was great, and yeah, and I can't wait to see this all over the place. It was fun. Thank you, Terry.
No, thank you guys. This was a lot of fun. Really.
And yes, and don't forget her Patreon. Yes, thank you, Law. Yes, go to her Patreon. Support her Patreon. You can get more awesome stuff like this all over the place because it's good stuff. And actually, do you want to link, Terry, your like Tumblr or DeviantArt or whatever, like whatever page you have?
I think most people here are probably on Twitter, so I'm gonna link that one.
Okay.
I could just link my Tumblr, but I think like most of you...
Twitter sounds...
Here you go.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Terry, thank you so much. I will speak to you again in the future, but thanks so much, and can neither deny the future will be awesome. No, I can confirm it will be awesome. That's for sure. That's for sure. But thanks, Terry, so much. I appreciate it, and I will we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
Bye, Terry.
Bye.
All right, that was awesome, guys. So great stuff. Now it is 3:15, and I have got to bail out of here because I got to prep for D&D, which is coming in about 45 minutes. I'm going to be playing more of Storm King's Thunder. Now, the deal with this is I'm going to try to play more of this, but it's not going to be happening until next week. My plan right now is to try to play more of this when we're on the road. My daughter will be with me when I'm in Pittsburgh at Three Rivers Comic-Con. This is not this Saturday, but next Saturday, or next Friday and Saturday. So we will try to do a session from then, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do that possibly next week. That's when I'm planning to do that, but I can't do it next because I got too many other things going on. But we will come back to this and finish it. So far, so good. I mean, like, that's so far so good, but I love this. This is really cool. The metal die is stupidly good. I know the metal die was doing some great stuff. I was a big fan of it. It was good stuff. So awesome stuff tonight, guys. Today, I should say. So I'm going to be over at GOG in about 45 minutes. I'm going to go get a little something to eat and then get stuff prepped for D&D with GOG. So no raid today. We're going to head over there and do that later on. However, the next time you will see me will be on Friday, when we will have the Our Vocalists returning triumphantly with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. And then Saturday is going to be later on in the day on Saturday. We're going to have D&D with the Infinity and Beyond crew. I do want to remind everybody, though, that's going to be starting later. Normally we start at about 6, but we're going to be starting more at like 9, and that's because I'm going to be up in Boston playing at a show. For the first time in several years, my band is going to be playing out, and we're going to be playing a set on what's called Porch Fest. So literally on the porch of one of our guitarists' houses. It's been going on for a long time, this music festival. So if you guys are in the Somerville area, I would love to see you there. That's going to be Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And then I'm going to be playing with the guys at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So as soon as we're done with the gig, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. I'm going to rise up on out of there and get back down so we can play us some D&D that night. It'll be a shorter session, but that way we'll have ourselves gotten in here. And then ARFCon, of course, is coming at the end of the month. If you like what you saw and heard, please make sure to follow the stream. Please make sure to support the Steam group, the YouTube with Steam group is ! Steam group, YouTube is ! ARFTube. Don't forget about the Discord, ! Discord. Don't forget about ! Talisman. If you want to enter the Talisman tournament, please get involved with that. And last but certainly not least, don't forget about the Patreon. The way we're able to do this and we're able to pay the creative people here is through the Patreon. So if you like what you saw, if you'd want to get some stuff for yourself, if you want to get inspiration like Classicor and Law used, they do that because they support my Patreon. You can also inspire people on D&D on the GOG stream. So if you want to do that, please support the Patreon. All the details are over there. ! Patreon. That's basically my subsystem. And the last thing I want to mention, of course, again, third book in the Grey Assassin trilogy is called Heretic. That was officially announced today by me. And the code, if you want to get a copy of Ed Greenwood's Words of Unbinding, you can buy a copy of my novel and you'll get a copy of his novel for free. And you can do that by going over to the link that I placed before. I'm glad that you liked it. You can go over here. And I'm glad you liked it, Trout. And I was really happy to get her on. It was awesome. So I really was happy with how it went over there. And then when you get over to there with Greyshade, you buy that. And during checkout, you're going to type in the term May Gray. So you're going to type in this code, May Gray. And if you type in the code May Gray, you will get a copy of Words of Unbinding for free. So please consider doing that. I would love that. That would be awesome. And yeah, so that's the deal with that. That's it for me, though. I'm going to head out, and I will see you guys hopefully in about 40 minutes over at GOG. If not, I'll be back on Friday. During the day Friday, I'll have a creative stream where I'll be editing my novel Renegade. Renegade is now finished draft-wise, but I need to edit it. So I'll be doing some editing on Friday, and then Friday night, of course, the Our Vocalists. Thanks so much to everyone who made this an awesome stream. Thanks to my wonderful mods, to Dragonspear, Law, Shattermage. Thank you to Beautiful, and also Shadowed, who I know is sick right now. Hope feel better, Shadowed. Thank you to my regulars. Thank you to Beautiful Bear, to Biomex, to Kalen, Classicor, to Dunsel, to Cujo. Thank you to Divinorium, to Don Cairo, who you guys should check out in D&D. To Drakensberger, ECAG, Elenea, Game Crashers, who you should check out in D&D, and Our Vocalists. Kajeldio, Levas, what's up, Levas? Love Shack, Marinda, Nirvash, Shimmerklang, Shimmerkiang, sorry. TariToons, thank you so much again, TariToons. Really awesome tonight. I really had fun with this. Thank you to Trendane, again, Our Vocalist and D&D player extraordinaire, also the voice of Greyshade in the Greyshade audiobook upcoming. Thank you to Trouden, Uncle Elias. Thanks so much for the retweet, by the way, Uncle Elias, and the cheer. And thank you to Rogan. And thank you to Shadowed Mage as well for the cheer, because that was great, and I appreciate it. So that is going to do it for me. As I said, no raid for today. So we are just going to call it there, and I will see you guys at the top of the hour over at GOG. Until then, thanks everybody. Love you all. Fun times. Crypt of the Sorcerer is now officially underway, and we'll get back to it later on this month. Until I see you at 4 o'clock, everyone be good to each other. Have a good day.
was fresh and new, when it all seemed clear to you, when your aim was straight and true. Were your mind untroubled by the questions in the dark, content to play your part, open pathways to your heart? Were your life untainted by a host of broken dreams, when all your acts were queens, understood